Cricket resumes here at the SUNY Purchase Ground for the final day of regular season league stage cricket at the USPL. 3 teams already qualified and the final 4 fighting for that last 4th place spot to qualify for the playoffs. The first matchup of today's doubleheader is between the Maryland Mavericks and the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. But before I'd like to talk to the captains, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our main title sponsor, CBTF Speed News, the most reliable gaming platform in the world, as well as our associate sponsor, MTR. I'd like to call up Mr. Kunal Baride, captain of the Maryland Mavericks. Kunal, you've won the toss. What have you chose to do and why?
We're going to bowl first. I feel there's a bit of dampness in the pitch in the morning, so we want to exploit that. We want to use that to our advantage.
Must-win game for the Mavericks. Win, you're through, but loss, you're out. Any pressure in the camp?
No pressure. It's good to know going into a critical game that what we are going to chase. So that's one of the reasons why we wanted to bowl first as well. But no pressure. We're looking forward to the game.
Any changes in your squad today?
Yes, we have a couple of changes. Vaibhav and Dhirendra is coming in place of Mahesh and Kapil.
Thank you so much, Kunal. All the best. Next, I'd like to call the Pennsylvania Cavaliers captain, Mr. Stephen Kotwaru. Stephen, losing the toss, going into batting, how are you feeling?
I wouldn't say I lose the toss. We wanted to bat, so I guess that's a win for us.
You're basically through in the playoffs. Not much to lose here. Even if you lose, you're still going to be first or second. So is today basically a match just to try out one game before the playoffs?
I think today we want to hit the straps. We want to make sure that we take all the boxes moving forward. Momentum is the key moving into the playoffs. So we want to make sure that we execute all our areas today.
Any final changes in your squad today?
Ryan Scott is back. And Ryan Scott is back today. So that's the plus for us.
Thank you so much, Stephen. All the best for today. That's the news from the middle, folks. The Maryland Mavericks have won the toss. Must win for them, and they're going to start proceedings with the ball in hand.
All right, so good morning and welcome to Round 7 action, final round action of the U.S. Premier League. And today's matchup, a doubleheader, features the Pennsylvania Cavaliers and the Maryland Mavericks. Later on, we'll see action between the Carolina Eagles and the New York Gothams. I'm Carl Bennett. I'm joined by Aryan Singh, and we'll take you through the action today. The matchups are, in fact, this early matchup, one of significance for the Maryland Mavericks. A win by the Mavericks will put them into playoff contention. And, of course, the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, top of the table. A win will keep their winning ways, and they'll enter the playoffs with momentum, with tailwind. And so the batters are out in the middle. You see the captains on screen, Stephen Ketwaru, Kunal Baride. He's actually Baride is actually replaced today. In fact, Kunal is in the lineup, and so both he and Stephen taking the helm for their respective teams. Aryan, good morning, and welcome once again.
Good morning, Carl. Missed you yesterday, but some good cricket. Maryland Mavericks need to win today's matchup, must win for them, and the Pennsylvania Cavaliers could just be practice for them today.
They will need to continue their winning tradition. They have been a very good team all season long in Phase 2. Did stumble a bit last week as they fell to the New York Gothams in a shocking outcome, but nonetheless, they seem to be back with the action as we get the signal from the umpires. The umpires today, umpire Irfan Saeed and Rowan McFarlane. So umpire Saeed gives us the signal that we're ready for action. Round 7, final round of the USPL, about to bowl off here at SUNY Purchase.
So Gaurav Rana with the ball in hand, running in for the first ball to Abdul Malik. Oh, and a good-looking cover drive to start off proceedings. But they've got a man in the deep, Carl.
And Good looking drive. And Abdul Malik, very, very capable player. And he is joined by Ryan Scott. In fact, Gandhi is a man who's on strike now, and it will come down to a pretty interesting setup here for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. Do they go hard here at the Maryland Mavericks, or do they just almost just take this one as a warm-up, tune-up for playoff action? They have cemented their place in the playoffs. It's just a matter here. If they keep winning, they will stay on top of the table and be the top seed. And of course, a loss could set them back a bit, as the New Jersey Titans sit in second place on 5-2. And so a loss. In fact, they probably would still stay ahead with a loss, given their very strong net run rate. 2-0 the total on the board. We're in the first over of play here. Maryland Mavericks taking on the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. Later on, a dead rubber will follow this one. The Eagles will take on the New York Gothams. This one is hit well. 2 backward points and gone for a boundary. So the first boundary of the morning up and running. And a good-looking shot from Abdul Malik.
Yeah, very nice shot, Carl, by Abdul Malik. Going over the top, over the offside. A region he likes to score a lot of his runs off, and he'll get 4 of those.
Good-looking shot indeed. Right to the pitch of the delivery. Smashed it, hit it well. And picked up a boundary for the effort. Early days yet, and now protection. Now, in fact, reinforcement being brought in to the offside, and now a heavily packed offside field here for the Maryland Mavericks. That's a good ball, but Malik is just steering it up into the offside to get a single, so he gets off strike straight away.
Must-win game for the Mavericks, Carl, but at somewhat of a disadvantage. No Rohit Swaradekar or Praneeth playing in this matchup. 2 very good batsmen statistically. And from a support perspective for the Maryland Mavericks, no Jesse Singh or Raymond Ramratan either. So they're missing a bunch of key parts here, Carl.
They are, and they have still put a pretty balanced team together on paper, at least. And as we have talked about, very significant their positioning here. They need to win in order to overtake the current 4th place team, the Texas Cowboys, who had a brilliant win yesterday. And so Texas Cowboys sitting on the cusp here, and if the Maryland Mavericks should win, they would go to 4-3, so they would overtake the Cowboys. So a couple of good deliveries to close out the first over, and so it's 1 over gone. The Pennsylvania Cavaliers, having been sent in, they're 7-0.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So welcome back to all our viewers. In today's matchup, must win for the Maryland Mavericks, and Captain Kunal Baride gives the ball to Paramendro Berman. So Paro gearing up for his first. Oh, and a good-looking stroke that is from Abdul Malik, but finds the fielder at the long-off region.
And getting a generous bounce. Ball bouncing and just coming right up for him to feel comfortably. And so man out there, Supreet Madan, he pulled that one in with ease. So off strike goes Malik once again. And so Khrushab Gandhi yet to get up and running. He's faced 3 balls so far.
Oh, and he's stuck in front, but umpire Ron McFarlane unmoved. They'll scatter away for a single.
And so just looking to work the ball through the onside and playing around the ball. May have been moving off the seam. And fortunate, he does get off strike, but still struggling to get bat on ball just yet.
So Abdul Malik gearing up. Oh, and that's a good-looking flick shot from Malik. A no-look Andre Fletcher-like. And he'll run away to the boundary. He'll get 4 of those. His second boundary of the innings. He has something to prove today, Mr. Malik.
And he was inside the line in a flash, just extending that front foot and just picking it up cleanly. And again, a safe shot to play, given that the power play is in effect. So no protection in the deep, in the onside, and a vacant backward square. Easy pickings for Malik. He goes into double figures.
And a better ball that is from Puro. Picks the man straight at short covers. Venkat Sai, I believe that is.
And so a good-looking defensive prod by Malik, and has really used good defense with a good attacking approach.
And that's a bad ball from Puro. A full toss, and if you give it to a man of Malik's class, he'll put that one away. A good-looking shot, his 3rd boundary of the innings.
Can't do that, can't overpitch to that degree. Just a freebie on offer. And Malik climbs all over it and smashes it into the deep. And it's gone into the straight mid-wicket area and into the bushes. And it could take some finding. Some men have been dispatched. 17 for none. For now, we're still 1 ball remaining in over number 2.
Seems like they've got a search party going on, Carl. Think they'll come out with about 3 more of those instead of 1.
Could very well be. They have a full, in fact, 3 players dispatched now and a 4th individual. In fact, and I think they may have... no, not so much. I see one of the players coming back, but so far still struggling. And now replacement ball being submitted here by umpire coordinator Danny Khan. And so a ball is back with the umpire Rowan McFarlane. And so a new ball here being introduced. So it only took 1.5 overs, Ariane, for our ball to be lost.
Yeah, with a man of Abdul Malik's class, I think there are going to be a bunch more of those. But where does Puro go now? He's already been hit for 2 boundaries in this over, and he's gearing up to bowl his last of his first 6. So where does Puro go here? Will he gets hit?
Oh.
Will he get hit for a CBTF maximum? No, he doesn't. It's a boundary, but regardless, 3 boundaries in the over, 12 runs from boundaries itself, 14 runs from that over. And the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, 21 for no loss after 2.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So Gaurav Rana, ball in hand again, gearing up for a second. Not a bad first over, only going for a run of ball. So Rana Gandhi, who's yet to get off the mark, and he tries to heave that one away, but gets nothing on it but the wind.
And so far, Khrushchev has struggled here to get bat on ball. And the more dot deliveries that he faces, the more the pressure builds on him. And just a wayward looking top looking to go over the top. Shot looking to go over the top. Just waves and misses at a good delivery from Gaurav Rana. Finds the gap this time, but there's protection at deep extra cover, but he does get off the mark after some time, and so 6 times the charm. Khrushchev is up and running, and he turns the strike over to Abdul Malik.
Off the mark, he is Khrushchev Gandhi. Hits that one in the gap, and back is the hard-hitting Mr. Malik.
And so Malik steering the inning so far, has really positioned the Pennsylvania Cavaliers here to get off to a good start. They're going at just over 9 and over, all courtesy of the exploits of Abdul Malik. 19 of the 22 runs on the board. Oh, just outside, a diving attempt, and this one will run away for another boundary. And so Abdul Malik continues the assault here as he quickly goes into the 20s. 23 of the 26 runs on the board. Malik looking good.
Yeah, Abdul Malik not going to miss out on that one. A good attempt by Poro Berman out in the deep. Not in the deep, but in the 30 yards. Just falls short. But again, runs are runs. So Malik will take 4. And Gaurav Rana will have to take 4 more to his name.
So good start by Malik. Keeping the Cavaliers scoreboard moving and moving quickly. Swing and a miss, and this time did it come off the pad? In fact, it's 4 of them, and it looks like it's runs. So Malik continues to go at good pace here, and another boundary, consecutive boundaries to him. And so clearly the intent is clear. Abdul Malik taking the attack to the opening bowlers for the Maryland Mavericks.
Taking absolute advantage of the power play. He's got 2 more to go for this over. Abdul Malik, so looking to get more runs, but he's already got enough from this over. Already got 9. So possibly looking to play these last 2. Could get a dot and take it on the charge last ball. So where does he go, Malik?
Doesn't get a hold of it as well as he would have liked, but does well enough to get himself off strike. Hands it over to Khrushchev Gandhi. Gandhi has taken 6 deliveries to get off the mark. Does Gandhi start to make some more meaningful contributions here for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers? Off to a very slow start, but a capable player can reverse course very quickly, and one swing of the blade can do it at times. One successful swing, and this time he's forced to defend. That will close out the over. 10 runs from it. It's 31 for none after 3.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है. इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com. यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो. Visit cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So 31 for 3 are the Pennsylvania Cavaliers as Poro Berman gearing up to bowl his second over, conceding 13 off his initial 6. 14 runs actually from his over, but 1 being a leg by. And Abdul Malik trying to heave that one away, but doesn't get much bat on that, Carl.
And Abdul Malik, clear, his intentions are clear. He's looking to punish anything short, and in fact looking to take full advantage of the power play. The protection in the deep at straight mid wicket, so that's the protection on the onside, and then there's long leg as well. This one hit well into the offside, should be out, and it's taken. So that's the end of Malik. So Preet Madan at mid-off takes an easy catch in the end, and so the first wicket falls. Pennsylvania Cavaliers lose their opener. It's now 31 for 1.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So at number 3, we've got Emmanuel C. Charan, left-handed batsman. So a left-hander replacing another left-hander here, Carl.
And C. Charan, a quality player, comes to the wicket. And again, we've seen the Pennsylvania Cavaliers top order have some level of success as well as some failures. We've seen them move the top order around quite a bit at times to look to get to the optimal batting lineup, and so Sicharan has been moved around here, moved up the order. He comes in at 3, and the question is, how do they pick up where Abdul Malik left off? Malik was very attacking, and so we've seen Khrushchev struggle a bit. Can they? And again, looking to pull this one through the onside and swing and a miss from Gandhi. And his struggles continue. So the question now here is, how do they continue to keep the scoreboard moving with Malik back in the hut and Khrushchev struggling? Does Sicharan look to attack in the way that Malik did, or does he look to work himself in? That's something that we'll have to watch. Should be a boundary here. Streaky, but effective through the third man region. And so 4 runs to Khrushchev Gandhi, picks up his first boundary.
Runs for Gandhi. Hasn't been looking the best today, but gets his account up and running. His first boundary of today.
So the Cavaliers still going at just under 10 and over. So good start for them. And the start has become courtesy of the cameo, the fireworks from Abdul Malik, who scored 28 from 13 balls, struck 6 fours in his short stay at the wicket. And so now the Cavaliers will have to turn to the other members of their top order to look for, and there's a loud appeal, and that might have been going over a tall man, is Khrushchev Gandhi. But he has struggled quite a bit with the pace of the delivery, or is it the swinging ball that kept him off track? But he's struggled quite a bit here, Ariane.
Quite funny, Carl. I've never seen umpire Rod McFarlane raise the dreaded finger on any LBW appeal. As Khrushchev Gandhi works it away on the onside, he will get 1 on the offside. Sorry, he'll get 1 there. 10 the over. 36 for 1 after 4 of the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. So Sicharan to gear up and face his first. But a bowling change. Seems like Ravi Patel gearing up to bowl, Carl, and I know Carolina Eagles fans are jumping around because last time Ravi Patel bowled to that team We all remember what happened. 32 runs from that over.
And Ravi Patel comes back to the scene of the crime looking for redemption. Is redemption in the offing here? He took a brutal beating last time. We saw him in an outing. Was hit over the top quite a bit. And even in the commentary box, we were begging for mercy. But he's back here and with a good opportunity to reverse course. Let's see what he does here. Starts with the ball outside the off stump. And again, bowling to the right man at this point. Perhaps Aryan, a man who doesn't look to be in peak form. Krushabh Gandhi has struggled a bit here, and so Ravi Patel will get an opportunity to bowl at someone whom may not be able to get him away with any bit of consistency. So we'll get a chance to watch the matchup here.
Oh, and first signs of aggression, that is from Krushabh Gandhi. Can the fielder get to that? No, he won't. So a boundary there, Carl. He's proven you wrong on that occasion. But he'll get runs, first of it, off Ravi Patel's bowling, and a second boundary off Krushabh Gandhi.
So good way perhaps to get yourself back into form is to get Ravi Patel into the bowling lineup and serving up some softballs. So Ravi into the slot straight away. And easy pickings for Krushabh Gandhi. He goes into double figures. So this time with an offer, but ball keeping just a bit low. And if you're Ravi Patel, you have to perhaps look to stay out there, outside off, not in the arc of these batters. And when he's gone into the pads or when he's bowled straight, he's been taken down the ground. Slower ball should be a wide, and it's confirmed by umpire Syed. Irfan Syed and Rowan McFarlane, the umpires charged with officiating these final round matches. And so we're just into a doubleheader here that will determine positioning. This one is hit up through the offside, running away towards backward point. They're going to get a couple at least. In fact, it's gone all the way. Had the legs to get to the boundary. And so this, a good over for Krushabh Gandhi as he continues. This is his second boundary in the over.
Yeah, Gandhi getting that strike rate a bit up. Just waiting for that ball off Ravi Patel. Possibly taking him on the charge. Is still the power play, so only two fielders are allowed outside the inner circle. So that could be game on for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. Could be looking to take Ravi Patel on the charge. Only need 5 more runs to get that first psychological milestone, Carl.
And this time they defend is Gandhi. So he is caught up with a strike rate, and so as you pointed out, starting to get to at least where you're at an 100 strike rate. You want to be at 100 or better in these limited over conditions, limited over format. And so Ravi Gandhi with 1 ball remaining. And he goes outside the off stump. That should close out the over. 9 runs from it. It's 45 for 1 after 5.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So Supreet Madan has been introduced here into the attack. So he replaces Poro Berman, and Poro bowled 2 overs, 1 for 18. For that matter, Gaurav Rana bowled 2 overs, none for 16. Ravi Patel, his solitary over. The previous over went for 9. And so Supreet, the 4th bowler, being introduced here by Kunal Baride. And so he will come to the party knowing that he'll have Emmanuel Seacharan on strike for the first time. And Seacharan, a quality player, very stylish. Can play the ball to all parts of the playing area. And a 360 player, as we say. And he starts with a ball down the leg side and might have clipped the pads or even the bat wasn't collected. And so no wide signal means perhaps it did clip something on the way through. So Seacharan getting an opportunity here to come up higher in the order. Does he take advantage of the opportunity?
I just blocks that one, a back foot block from Seacharan, a very good technical player he is. So 2 balls, 2 dots from Supreet Madan, one of the main spinners in this side-up, Carl.
And he's started well. They're looking to pull the Cavaliers back. Goes upstairs in the deep. Man in the deep looking up. Watches it go over the first CBTF maximum of the morning. It brings up the 50 in the process. And Seacharan off the mark with some ambitious looking stroke. So off the mark with the boundaries. Seacharan, ball pitched up in the slot, was on the attack early. And so the ball back with Supreet. He's coming around the wicket. This time Seacharan defends. And the score remains unchanged. So Seacharan has opted to absorb a couple of deliveries. Has attacked when the ball has been flighted above his eye line. And this time, looking to turn the ball into the onside, caught in 2 minds. As you see the intent there initially, which he sort of aborted midstream and ended up just pushing it awkwardly into the onside for no run. And this time, the final delivery closes out the over. The power play done. 6 from the over. 51 for 1 at the end of the power play.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cptfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cptfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So power play done and dusted. 51 from the power play for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. Off to a decent start. 8.5 runs per over from the power play. And they lost the wicket of Abdul Malik in the session. So now a new bowler being introduced here. Vasav Desai has been given the ball. We get the signal for the end of the power play from umpire side. And so Krishabh Gandhi on strike, 14 from his 17 deliveries. And so he'll be the man here looking to continue to keep the scoreboard ticking for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. Again, a reminder that the Cavaliers are top of the table at the moment, leading the New Jersey Titans, and the Titans are looking for, well, this particular match actually comes down to just positioning for these two, and so the way things turn out here could be very crucial in terms of who plays whom in the championship round. New Jersey Titans are sitting in second place on 5-2, having played one additional game. And 5-1 for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, as this one is tucked away up into the deep extra cover region for a single to Gandhi.
A good player. He is Vasav Desai, a good left arm orthodox. A good change from Kunal Baride. Power play just ended, so can have more fielders outside the inner circle. He's gone with a long on, long off, deep covers. I think he's also got a man at deep mid wicket, so he's got 4 back. It's a good move from Vasav Desai in case of a bad ball. They don't have a deep, they also have deep covers, deep mid, deep square, and possibly a cow corner.
So, good start from Desai. And the left-hander Sicharan gets the opportunity to hit with the spin. And this time he's steering the ball up into the offside, can't score, and so Sicharan so far has really been mostly defensive. His one attacking shot went away for a boundary, now hit down, and then again this one goes for another maximum. So 2 scoring shots from Sicharan, both have gone over the ropes for a CBTF maximum.
A good-looking stroke from Sicharan, a very bad ball from Vasav Desai. You give that ball to anyone who plays baseball or cricket, that's going to go the distance. And that's what we saw from Sicharan there, a CBTF maximum.
So over-pitch delivery, and took full advantage, just smashed it away, and it's gone into the bushes. Could we be looking at another replacement here, as fielders have disappeared into the bushes and none have yet to emerge? In fact, we see more players now going in, and so we'll pause and wait for cricket to resume here at SUNY Purchase.
So another short pitch-ish delivery from Vasav Desai, but completely missed by Sachin Sicharan, signaled wide by umpire Irfan Saeed. Oh, and again, he goes short again. He's got protection out in the deep zone, so only one. He's got a deep square leg to restrict that. Short pitch delivery, 1 to go for Vasav Desai. Karo, not the greatest of overs.
And the first scoring shot by Emmanuel Sicharan that hasn't gone for a 6. And he finally gets a single to get himself off strike. And the over with 1 ball remaining. Can he escape this over without any further damage? He can, and that will close out the over. 9 runs from it. And so with 7 gone, it's the Pennsylvania Cavaliers who have been sent in. They're 60 for 1.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So Suprit Madan to continue proceedings. Cicharan runs the first one very hard. He's going to get two. Very fast running between the wickets from Cicharan. And Carl, remember last time, the running between Cicharan and Stephen Katwaru, two very fast runners between the wicket.
Very, very good running and very good understanding. And so both batters now on 15. And so a good opportunity here for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers to look to continue to push their advantage, look to put pressure on the Maryland Mavericks. And another single taken, so their intent here on rotating the strike, keeping the scoreboard ticking over in the limited overs game. The object of the game for the most part is to prevent dot balls and score from or score as much as you're able from the bad deliveries. So boundaries is a big part of the game, but rotating strike is another key element. Partnership of 32 here between these two. Budding partnership 32 from just 26 balls. We saw a partnership of 31 between Khrushab Gandhi and Abdul Malik, a partnership dominated by Malik, who posted 28 of those 31. So reasonably good over so far from Suprit Madan. Only 3 runs from it so far. Can he escape without much further damage? He can. This one is tugged into the onside for just a single. So that will close out the over. Number 8, just 4 runs from it. It's 64 for 1.
The previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
ऐसे मत लेट किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे पेट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
जाएगी.
रखूँ. हाँ.
बेबी की चिट चैट 3 minutes में? Impossible. मगर MTR का 3 minute उपमा. Just add hot water, mix, cover और 3 minutes में ready. MTR 3 minute breakfast.
So Vasev Desai to continue his second over. Back-to-back spinners being introduced. Carlin, spin working to some extent for the Maryland Mavericks.
Yes, indeed. Aryan Suprit Madan, 2 overs, none for 10. So going his economy rate at 5. 9 from Desai's first over. So he could perhaps look to do a bit better. But nonetheless, he gets off to a good start here in his second over. And so being asked here to do a job for the Maryland Mavericks. They're in a must-win situation. They need all their players to come to the party this morning. And so another good delivery. So again, a good start. And the teams, Pora Berman, everybody now involved from the Maryland Mavericks just looking to pick up the spirits of the Maryland Mavericks fielders. This one full and straight, but driven up into the extra cover region. Only a single on offer, so good over this. And of course, team owner Sherrod is right on the mid-wicket boundary, making sure that his presence is felt, continuing to encourage the boys, motivate them, see if they can pull off the upset here and get themselves into the playoffs. A must-win situation for the Maryland Mavericks.
And that's wide. The first bad ball of this over from Vasev Desai was going very good. Didn't have to change anything. But one bad ball, that is. So he's going to have to reload and bowl one more, Coral.
And he's halfway through the over. We'll try to keep up the pressure that we saw from Suprit on the swing and a miss from Cicharan, looking to go downtown. And a good delivery keeps him from middling that one. And you hear all the chirping Arian from all around the ground. So the news has gotten to the Maryland Mavericks that they need to encourage each other.
It's good motivation, Carl. It's very, very good stuff that the Maryland Mavericks, they want to win this game. They're in it. They're playing with their hearts out. And it's go big or go home for them. They need to do everything in their possibility to win today's matchup. Only 2 from this over from Vasav Desai. So 1 to go for him, loading up. A very important over for him.
So can he get out of the over here, Desai?
He can. Regardless of the fact that it's a single, he's given 3 from his allotted 6. So that's 67 for 1 after 9 for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. 11 to go.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So only 7 runs from the last 12 balls. And Carl, typically you'd see double that in an over in T20s. You'd see 14 going.
Well, at one point we saw the Pennsylvania Cavaliers were going at just under 10 and over. So let's say 9 and over or thereabouts. And we've seen that run rate being pulled, being clawed back here by the Maryland Mavericks. Now the run rate just over 7 and over. And so the bowlers in the last few have done quite well to focus on their economy, and so the economy rate or the improvement in their economy rate has pulled this run rate back for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. And again, a good start here by Supreet. Ball outside the off stump, spinning away from the left-hander, and again a good bit of bowling. And so a good bowling tandem here in employ. Vasav Desai and Supreet Madan really done well these last 3-4 overs. Another good delivery, and so suddenly the bowling coming to the fore, Aryan. Bowling starting to build pressure here on the Pennsylvania Cavaliers batters.
And I think Kunal might just have to bowl these 2 out, Carl, because there's no point of saving spin towards the death. So just bowl out. I think the captain might just want to bowl out Supreet Madan and Vasav Desai here. It's going very well economically.
And I would agree with you, with momentum being what it is. They're looking to take advantage, the Maryland Mavericks. And this one is into the gap. It pierces the gap, but probably doesn't have the legs to get to the boundary. And in fact, in the end, flipping the ball back only helped in flipping it over the boundary. And so 4 runs, well-needed runs for the Cavaliers. Sicharan goes into the 20s, up to 21.
Well, that's a very good effort in the deep from the Maryland Mavericks. It seems that they're slightly coming back from the shaky start they had, but it's looking good here. Supreet Madan, don't think he'd be too disheartened. 4 from 4.
And yeah, and then Dhirendra Sharma was running back for all he was worth. In the end, he was the one who tried to flip it backwards, but he wasn't able to keep it from going into the boundary. So, good effort nonetheless. Couple of balls remaining here in over number 10. And this one steered up into the offside for another single. They run for 1. That's all that they'll get. And so still you hear everybody saying excellent over. 1 ball remaining in over number 10. We're almost at the halfway point. 72 runs are on the board, so going at just over 7 and over. Can Supreet Madan either dislodge one of these 2 batters or at least come up with a quality delivery to close out the 10th over? He is coming, in fact, continuing to make some adjustments in the onside. Mid-wicket coming straighter.
Oh, and he goes for it. And it's taken! Taken in the deep. Supreet Madan comes back. A very good over for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. Both openers back in the hut.
And a nicely judged catch in the deep. And well taken, well judged. And so, as we were saying, could he get out the over? Gaurav Rana making no mistake. Could he get out the over without any further damage? Not only did he get out the over without any further damage, but picked up a wicket in the process. It's now 72 for 2 at the halfway point. 10 gone.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
And no introduction needed for the new men in Carl. Last time, the Maryland Mavericks and the Pennsylvania Cavaliers had a matchup. Don't think any Maryland Mavericks fan would want to be reminded of what Ryan Scott did.
Ryan Scott, a quality player, and was responsible, partly, if not mostly responsible, for the demise of the Maryland Mavericks on that occasion. So he comes back here at a crucial point, asked to shepherd this Pennsylvania Cavaliers innings towards a respectable total. They're 72 for 2 at the halfway point, going at 7.2 and over. At one point, they were going better than 9, almost 10 and over. And so the Maryland Mavericks have been able to pull things back. Not only have they been very economical in the last four overs, but they have managed to break a very good partnership between Khrushchev Gandhi and Emmanuel Cicharan, a partnership of 41. And so now that then determines or brings Ryan Scott out, and he'll be on strike here against Vasav Desai.
Ryan Scott, very heavy resume for him. USA Mid-Atlantic senior team member, USA Men's senior team member, as well as a captain for the Michigan minor league side. So where does he go today? Starts with a dot.
So Ryan Scott needs no introduction. Very good player. And again, we've seen this Pennsylvania Cavaliers, their lineup be changed from week to week. So they've struggled to keep the same playing 11 or a consistent core, which has resulted in an ebb and flow in how they have won games. They have continued to win, that said, so they have been very consistent in terms of winning matches. What has been different is how they have won. Sometimes they have bludgeoned teams into submission. At other times they have won some close contests. And so here again, Ryan Scott, who has been in high demand across multiple formats in various leagues and playing a number of different and having a number of different obligations. He comes back into the lineup today, I'm sure with the mission of not only positioning the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, but getting them to the point where they can enter the playoffs on a high and with good momentum, good tailwind at their backs. So another single then to Cicharan. So he continues to bat well, 23 from 23. So effectively run a ball.
A lot of noise too from the Maryland Mavericks. You can hear Porov got the whole headset on, nothing off. You could still hear him. So a lot of noise here.
Well, I think they're wanting to keep their players encouraged, keeping them in the game, and it looks like that has been the message that's been sent from the outside. The management of the Maryland Mavericks continue to tell the players, keep everybody in the game, make sure that everybody realizes what's at stake. And so you hear all the players on the boundary just chirping away, making sure that all the players inside the 30-yard circle are aware that the support is there to keep up the effort, keep building the pressure. Must-win game, and after every single delivery, Ariane, you hear the players congratulating each other, congratulating the effort as the over comes to an end. A very good one, just 2 runs from it, and so it's 74 for 2 after 11.
So smart cricket here from Kunal Baride and the Maryland Mavericks. He's bowling out Supreet Madan.
And so we were just talking off camera, Ariane, and Rinku was making the point that the last 5 overs for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers have gone for just 23 runs. And so the Maryland Mavericks have really put their foot on the gas here in terms of not only restricting this Pennsylvania Cavaliers team, but they have picked up wickets in the process, or at least picked up a wicket in the process. And so they continue to look to build pressure here. Supreet Madan, just 15 from his 3 coming into this into his final over, and looking to finish strong. Ryan Scott goes down and has a word with Emmanuel Cicharan. Now a long mid-pitch conference, and Scott perhaps seeing something that Cicharan may not be seeing, or maybe just telling him, just play him off here, see him off, and then once he's done, let's figure out what else they have in store and see how we can then position ourselves. This time he doesn't deliver, but cricket, Ariane, a very cerebral game, and players are always looking for how they can build pressure on each other, how they can build pressure on the opposition. Another good delivery. And so just 2 more remaining in the spell for Supreet Madan. If you're the Pennsylvania Cavaliers and if you're Emmanuel Cicharan, you have to make sure that these 2 deliveries don't get you out, given that Supreet Madan will not be able to take any further part. Oh, another quicker delivery this time. And so just 1 ball remaining in his spell, and perhaps in the over. Can he escape with a maiden over here? This 1 ball will determine that.
Or could he go with a wicket maiden, Carl?
Let's see. That's the question.
And he'll go without a maiden. He'll give 1 run off that, but a very good over to close out Supreet Madan's 4 with an economy rate of about 4. That's 75 for 2 after 12 for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So Captain Kunal Baride has ball in hand. Who does he go to here? Might be thinking another one of Vasav Desai.
Well, he's calling in the man from deep mid-wicket.
I think that might be Ravi Patel.
Yeah, Ravi Patel is going to be back. And so Ravi Patel, his first over cost him just 9. But we know if there's one man to target, he might be the one. If there's a weak link in the fence, he might be the man that they look to go after. But Ravi Patel, a campaigner, a fighter, and you know he's going to come with his best effort, particularly given that the Maryland Mavericks are in a must-win situation every man needs to step up here. And Captain Kunal Barita, he needs to find 2 or 3 overs, and so has to figure out where to get them. He has Gaurav Rana remaining with 2, Poro with 2. Vasav Desai has 1, and so that's 5 overs, and there's 8 to be bowled, so he has to find 3 from somewhere.
Venkat Sai is an option, possibly. Carl bowls right arm medium pace,
and Venkat is a possible option. Question is, and Venkat will probably have to bowl 1 or 2. It all depends on how Ravi Patel goes. Sometimes when Ravi bowls well, Kunal will continue to have faith, but sometimes we can see just in the space of 1 over where the wheels can come off, and this one thrown away. And fortunately, they will not be able to capitalize to pick up anything extra. And so just a single then to Sicharan, moves him up to 25. And again, our scorer Rinku was making the point during the last over break that in the last 6 overs, only 24 runs have been scored by the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. And just that speaks to the effort of Supreet Madan and Vasav Desai. They've put a clamp here on the proceedings for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. The run rate has been pegged all the way back from just under 10 and over down to now 6 and over. And so a brilliant bit of work in the middle overs here by the Maryland Mavericks. And so now the Pennsylvania Cavaliers will have to figure out how they're going to approach the death.
So I think Ryan Scott's intent is quite clear off this over. I think he wants to take him for half a dozen, but a good ball from Ravi Patel there.
And Ravi has really come back quite well here. Again, the last time we saw him in an outing, he was getting handled in a very disdainful manner, but he has come back in this particular matchup and has really stepped up here, has bowled fairly well.
Oh, and bang, that's a good-looking shot from Ryan Scott.
Does he find the gap? Protection in the deep. And so only 1 on offer. So bowling to his field is Ravi Patel, but you get the sense that if you're a Maryland Mavericks supporter, you get the sense that Ravi Patel is likely a man to be targeted. And him knowing that, he has to know that, and so him knowing that will have to be looking to bowl very tidy lengths here against these very attacking batters. Sicharan now on strike. He's on 25. And so wide ball this time. So extras are just 6 through 12 overs, so not a bad effort from a discipline standpoint. Wides have totaled just 4 in this innings. So good discipline by the Maryland Mavericks. 2 leg byes in the total. Swing and a miss. And so good slower ball, well disguised by Ravi Patel. And so that's when Ravi Patel is at his best, that's the kind of bowling that he can produce. Can he escape this over? Just 3 conceded so far. Emmanuel Sweetcharan swinging for the fences. And he bowls a good oh, wide is the call. Misses his line there. And so he will have to re-bowl that one.
So if Ravi Patel did not go wide on both occasions, would have only given around 2 to 3 runs off this over. Instead, he's on 4 right now. He's got 1 more to go. Sicharan has his eyes set. He's played 32 balls, Carl.
And Sicharan, you see his intent. He's looking to go down the ground. So Ravi Patel, recognizing that, has to go wide of off stump. And he does. And the batter is not able to score. And so a good over from Ravi Patel, the 13th. Only 4 runs from it. It's 79 for 2, the Pennsylvania Cavaliers.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे पेट में एसिड एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
जाएगी
रखूं?
then
हाँ हाँ हाँ
बेबी की चिट-चैट 3 मिनट्स में इम्पॉसिबल मगर MTR का 3 मिनट उपमा जस्ट ऐड हॉट वाटर मिक्स कवर और 3 मिनट्स में रेडी MTR 3 मिनट ब्रेकफास्ट इंडिया का ब्रेकफास्ट
So 7 overs remaining, or 42 deliveries, 79 the total on the board for the loss of 2 wickets. And the batters out in the middle, Emmanuel Cicheran and Ryan Scott. And so far the bowlers have come to the fore here, they've come to the party. And 6-7 overs, 28 runs in the last 7 overs has been the story. And so 4 and over has been the story over the last 7 overs for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers as Gaurav Rana comes back into the attack. Supreet Madan has finished his spell, 4 overs, no mean 1 for 16. And so Gaurav Rana, his first spell cost him 16 runs from the 2 overs he bowled. And so he comes back into the attack here, bowling to Ryan Scott.
So a big responsibility for Gaurav Rana. So far these overs have been going very well for the Maryland Mavericks. So game on for them. 7 to go. Gaurav Rana after this over will have 1 to go. And Ravi Patel also a very good closing over, conceded only 4. So Gaurav Rana coming into one of the leaders in this Pennsylvania Cavaliers side. A USA level player. Where does he go? Does he bowl wide? Similar to what Ravi Patel did.
Well, you know, as we approach the Fast 5, that the batters will now be looking to go on the attack, considering particularly that the Cavaliers have been pegged all the way back. And so Rana starts with a good delivery, just pushing Ryan Scott back. He defends up into the offside and cannot score as the ball just going up to Vartak at short cover. And so good bowling effort here by the Maryland Mavericks. A must-win situation for them.
Tries to heave at that one. Ryan Scott a full face of the bat, but nothing on it. So back-to-back dots for Gaurav Rana here, Carl.
And the ball really wasn't there for the type of shot that Scott offered. It was a short pitch delivery. He was backing away looking to punch it through the offside, but the ball was making quite a bit of height. And so went easily by him before he was able to get the bat through the swinging arc. And so pause here as umpire Ron McFarling seeing the man running behind the extra cover area. He was off the field, but the movement seemed to have caused confusion for the players out in the middle.
Oh, Ryan Scott going down the track. Will he get enough of it? Yes, he will. So often we see Ryan Scott do that, a CBTF maximum, and he's living up to the name.
And he knew he was coming. He knew it was going to happen. They have been pushed back quite a bit. And you saw Scott's intent. And he used his feet well, coming down the track, hitting over the top of extra cover. Ravi Patel out there. Can't get hands to it. It's gone for a CBTF maximum. Scott up and running his first boundary. 8-5 the total on the board. 39 balls remain.
Oh, and Scott goes back to back. That's 2 in a row for a CBTF maximum. Save your legs, Ryan Scott. Show your class.
And a delivery slower ball, not well disguised. And Scott was all over it. He saw it early and held his nerve, held the timing, and just held back and hit it cleanly out of the middle of the blade. Ball in the slot. Couple of back-to-back maximums here for Ryan Scott. He goes into double figures.
So, Carl, already 12 off the over. The last time an over wasn't double digits was over number 3. 10 runs off that. So Ryan Scott still does have 2 more to go. He's definitely fired up. A fired up Ryan Scott up against Gaurav Rana. He's been bowling well up until now. So where does Gaurav Rana go? Where does Ryan Scott go?
Well, the slow bowlers were doing the job for the Maryland Mavericks.
And Ryan Scott goes down the track again, but Supreet Madan back there.
And the slow bowlers have now been bowled out. Desai has 1 over remaining, but the slow bowlers were the ones who effectively brought the Mavericks back into the game. And Kunal Barida having to find an option going back to his main strike bowler. And he's been put under pressure by Ryan Scott. This one turned into the onside. They're going to push for 2. They go for 1. That's all that's on offer. And so that will close out the over. A good one from a Cavalier standpoint. 14 runs come from it. 14 gone. It's 93 for 2.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So Ravi Patel continues. 2 overs, none for 13 so far. So he's been good to this point. But you know the onslaught is coming, or at least the attacking approach from the Cavaliers batters. This one in the air. Oh, and nobody there in the mid-wicket area. And so a couple of runs to Sicharan, who was not in control. But he picks up a couple, helps the Cavaliers' cause.
So quick he is, Emmanuel Ciceron. Always thought there was 1 there, but he always strikes for 2. Could possibly even run for 3 there if him and Katwaru are out there. So Ryan Scott breaking this partnership for them will be very crucial, Carl.
So far, partnership is 23 between these two, 23 from 25. It was, the partnership got off to a slow start, but the last over helped the cause. 14 came from that over, so helped the partnership quite a bit. And another no ball now coming. First of the morning. And so no ball is the call. And so a free hit upcoming here to Emmanuel Cicharan. He'll get a free strike at trying to get the Cavaliers to their 2nd team milestone. Trying to get the Cavaliers to triple figures. Here is the free hit delivery. Slower ball, swing and a miss, and so well disguised by Ravi Patel. Very good delivery. Keeps Cicharan guessing a bit. He was well through his shot before the ball arrived. The ball took all day to get there. Very well disguised by Ravi Patel.
See Ryan Scott talking to Cicharan there, a true leader, telling him, watch the surface, it's going to come a bit slow. He's bowling the slower one quite a few. So Cicharan taking his guard once again. He's gearing up.
And perhaps that was the discussion. Hey, you might need to bat off of leg stump here or something to that effect. And so you might be taking a different guard. Let's see, Ravi Patel, swing and a miss. So whatever it was, that doesn't appear to have worked, Ariane.
Yeah, possibly, but Cicharan, he's batting a bit slow here compared to what we usually see. 28 off 38. He's well set. He's got 5 to go after this.
Yeah, just striking it at 74 at the moment. 74 strike rate, subpar in T20. And in the limited over format.
He's stepping down a bit, and he crunches that one. But straight to Supreet Madan. That's very good fielding. He hit that very hard.
And another generous bounce for Madan, but the ball was moving like a tracer bullet, and he came around and got hands to it and fielded it cleanly. And so very well done in the deep by Madan. Would have saved the boundary. But again, you saw the hard hit, and clearly middling that one is Cicharan. And not getting maximum value for that effort.
Oh, crunched, but he'll get only one. Ryan Scott. He's got a man in the deep. Gaurav Rana it is.
And so Sicharano will come back onto strike. With one ball remaining here in the 15th over, then it will be fast five time. Death overs on tap. Final delivery. And it's a well-bowled one, tugged into the onside. They run for one. They're turning for the second. No, says Sicharan. And that will close out the over. Another decent over from Ravi Patel here. Only 6 from it. It's a 15 gone, 99 for 2. Fast five coming up next.
This year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी कुछ नहीं
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
ब्रेकफास्ट भूल गया कर लूंगा
इतनी
कर
बार
लूंगा
बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट किया करो।
3 minutes
अभी तुम्हारे पेट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
रही है।
रखो हाँ हाँ हाँ
बेबी की चिट चैट 3 minutes में इम्पॉसिबल मगर MTR का 3 minute उपमा जस्ट ऐड हॉट वाटर मिक्स कवर और 3 minutes में रेडी MTR 3 minute breakfast इंडिया का ब्रेकफास्ट
So, Paramendro Berman being given his third over, picked up the wicket of Abdul Malik. The hard-hitting Abdul Malik gave them a very good start, the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, but now it's game on. Fast five time. And Emmanuel Cicharan joined alongside Ryan Scott. And that's a good-looking stroke to start things off. They've got protection in the deep, though, so only one.
Yeah, good-looking shot. Brings up the 100 for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. The 100 comes up in over number 16. Took them a while to get here, but they're here. Partnership of 28 between these two. Ryan Scott, you'd have to be thinking, will be on the attack here. Paul Berman, 18 runs coming from his first 2 overs. And did pick up the wicket of Abdul Malik. And so, bowling here at a very crucial point.
Oh, and bang, that's huge. That is massive from Ryan Scott.
What a strike it was in the slot. And Ryan Scott gave that one a tap, and it went a long way up and over, long on. What a strike by Ryan Scott. Takes him into the 20s. A CBTF maximum. So quality looking stroke by Scott, and you expect that to be coming. The Pennsylvania Cavaliers will look to be attacking here with 8 wickets in hand. You would think the meat of their order, still Ketwaru in the hut, Ashwin Erdwarshe.
Oh, that's up in the air. That could be taken. Kunal Parida, the captain, is settling underneath it, and he does take it. That is a huge wicket, and you could hear the screams from the Maryland Mavericks captain. Ryan Scott has to go back.
And what a wicket that is to take. And so after being hit out of the ground on the previous delivery, what a comeback from Poro as he strikes right back almost instantly. And so that's the end of Scott. He falls for 22. It's now 106 for 3.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले Visit cbtfspeednews.com. यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो. Visit cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So Ashwin or the Reishi comes in. A lot of responsibility for Ashwin here. So Ashwin or the Reishi, a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. Still got Stephen Katwaru somewhere in the hut. Oh, that's massive! That is massive from Ashwin. First ball. Sorry, that's Emmanuel Cicheron. A very good-looking stroke from him.
And the ball was there. Man in the deep gave it a good effort. And for a moment, looked like he might have had a play. But in the end, was well struck. And went over him for another CBTF maximum. The 6th of the innings for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers.
So, Carl, we've seen a trend here. 6 wicket and 6. So, is Cicheron going to go back to the hut here? Where does Poro go?
Well, he can't keep bowling back of a length. The back of a length has been traveling. This one is hit well into the offside protection. And he does well there to pick up quickly and to get the ball back in. So good work in the deep. Looks to be the man out there. Looks to be Vartak. Vibe of Vartak is done well, keeping the batters to just a single. So final ball of over number 16. Ashwin takes guard for the first time, so he'll face his first delivery, and the final delivery of this over from Poro Berman. 14 already conceded in the over. A good one for the Cavaliers.
Oh, and he's going up and over already, Carl.
In the air, man comes around, can't get to it, and it will go away for a boundary. So not a good effort in the deep. In fact, it may not have been a catch, a ball that could have been caught, but perhaps should have positioned himself to not have that gone away for a boundary. Nonetheless, the over comes to an end. 18 from it, plus the wicket. It's 16 gone, 117 for 3.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है. इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com. यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो. Visit cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So Ravi Patel, last 6 for him. Last 4 for the Maryland Mavericks, Carl. We've got Gaurav Rana 1, Poro 1, Ravi 1, and Vasav Desai still has 1 as well.
Yes, and I think Captain Kunal Baride was looking to see where he could steal a couple of overs here, and has managed to squeeze a couple out of Ravi Patel. And so here Ravi will finish up, and I'm sure Kunal Baride will be hoping that he can finish as he has started. He doesn't start with a good ball though, going down the leg side, and not sure if he might have clipped that one, but no wide given. So the score does remain at 117. 23 balls remaining in the innings, and so Ravi Patel needs to get it right this over. Does well. Ooh, bad misfield, and the batters will get an extra run here. And so Vartak, man positioned at short extra cover, gives away an extra run. And so Emmanuel Cicheron goes up to 40. It's been a tale of two cities for Emmanuel Cicheron. He has hit the ball well when he's middled it, but when he hasn't, then he's gone. So he's been nicked off. That's the end of Cicheron. He falls for 40. A good strike by Ravi Patel. He picks up his first wicket. It's now 119 for 4.
कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
ब्रेकफास्ट भूल गया, कर लूंगा
इतनी
कर
बार
लूंगा।
बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट किया करो।
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे
Okay.
पेट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
जाएगी and then-
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
बेबी की चिट चैट 3 minutes में इम्पॉसिबल, मगर MTR का 3 minute उपमा जस्ट ऐड हॉट वाटर, मिक्स, कवर और 3 minutes में रेडी। MTR 3 minute breakfast.
So at number 6, you've got the wicket-keeper batsman for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, Stephen Cutwaru, out in the middle.
Wicket keeper, batsman, and captain. He's got it all to do. A full complement of requirements for the skipper. He comes in at a crucial point with just 21 balls remaining. The Pennsylvania Cavaliers are on a projected path to get them to 140 runs. Will 140 be enough to defend against a very hungry and motivated Maryland Mavericks who are in a must-win situation? They need a victory here against the Cavaliers to make it into the playoffs. The Cavaliers, on the other hand, need a win just to position themselves and maintain their status at the top of the table, and or definitively maintain their status at the top of the table. Even a loss here. Oni is taken on the pad. An appeal, they scamper through, and a direct hit could have been problematic, but he's off strike, and it could be a leg by, is it? No leg by signal, so it might have been bat pad. So he gets away with a single. That was Ketwaru up and running.
Yeah, innovation. First ball, Carl. No time to settle or anything. Just right at it. He wants to go for a scoop and gets off the mark off that.
Well, recognizing the position in the game where we are and recognizing that the fielders behind square, not many back behind square, looking to take advantage of that area. This one hit well down the ground and gone into the trees. Maximum here for Ashwin. And a good strike takes him into double figures. Another CBTF maximum.
Ashwin on the charge. I think he wants to take it on. Don't think he matters if he goes out next ball or not. He wants to take Ravi Patel on.
And with still 6 wickets in hand, Cavaliers are in a strong position to really just put the pedal to the metal, or to the metal, and watch this one go. 126 for 4. Well struck, powerfully struck, but protection at deep extra cover. A little bit of a fumble initially, but good recovery keeps the batters to just 1. So that will close out the over. 10 runs from it plus the wicket. It's 127 for 4 after 17.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So Vasav Desai comes back to bowl his last over. He's got 18 left for his team, but 6 for him to individually contribute. With a score of 127 for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. Gonna have to look to get a good over here, Carl.
Yes, with 18 balls to go. It's all hanging in the balance here for the Maryland Mavericks. If they're going to make a strong challenge at sticking a second defeat to the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, it will likely be in these next 18 balls to make that statement.
So that's 1 to start with. And never mind, I think that's 4.
Fact,
Yeah.
it's gone through.
That is 4. So initially should have been 1, but 4 is what Ashwin will get. So he's 15 off of 4 balls. Vasav Desai starts with the boundary.
And an ordinary effort in the deep. And now the replacement being sent out as the man out there just badly misjudged. And so Kunal Baride goes out and has a talk with his man. Number 10, Venkat, I think it is, that's out there. And so Venkat misses the opportunity. Venkat Sai.
Oh, that one stayed very low, Carl.
Very, very low. And we've seen this wicket at times can do that. And that's why batters, it's important to get behind the ball, hit down the ground. Another good delivery this. So Venkat Desai has found a good spot outside off. A couple of deliveries in that area have managed to stay in the ground. Just 15 balls remain now. And this another good looking shot. Ball coming out of the middle of the blade. But again, this time only one. And all things being equal, only 2 runs should have been scored in this over so far. But instead, we've seen the first one go for a boundary. So 5 in the over already, 2 delivers remain. And 14 overall remaining in the innings. Here is Desai. And this again is hit well. Protection though at cover. And so another single doesn't hurt the Maryland Mavericks cause as much.
Good stop though from Venkat Sai. Good comeback from his first initial fielding experience this over, but again should have been only 3 runs this over, Carl. So half the runs here. Vasav Desai, he's got 1 to go. Where does he go to Ashwin? He goes short. That's not a good ball. He'll get 4 of that. Supreet Madan gonna give up the chase. 4 of that, he'll get 10 from the over. Vasav Desai, goodbye. 137 for 4. Last 12 to go.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे ट्रीट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
रही है.
रखूँ. हाँ.
बेबी की चिट चैट 3 minutes में इम्पॉसिबल. मगर MTR का 3 minute उपमा जस्ट ऐड हॉट वाटर, मिक्स, कवर और 3 minutes में रेडी. MTR 3 minute breakfast. इंडिया का breakfast.
So a surprising move. Captain goes to Gaurav Rana here, Carl.
Well, Rana has won. Poro has won. And there are 2 overs remaining. So I think you would expect that one of those would have gone to Gaurav. I mean, he is the strike bowler here for the Maryland Mavericks. And so he'll bowl out here with 2 overs remaining. It's unlikely, I would think, that Kunal Barida would have gone to someone else. Who he would have had to introduce a completely new bowler here. And so perhaps not the right place to introduce somebody for the first time. So goes to his strike bowler. And Stephen Katoru will be the man on strike. 2 from 2 so far. This could be a good matchup. Finds the gap, does he? Yes, he does. And that's 4 runs over pitched. And given the treatment, Stephen Katoru up and running with a boundary.
Good looking stroke from him. Stephen Katwaru, the captain, taking matters into his own hands. And bang, starts away with a 4.
So missing his length, Gaurav Rana. And not the best ball to introduce as the first ball of over number 18. What does he do here? He's got to land this one on the surface.
Good looking shot that is from Katwaru, but only 1.
A better ball into the block hole, forcing Ketaru to just drop the bat on it. Was able to muscle it down to long on. And so 10 balls remain in the innings now. 142 the total on the board, so the Pennsylvania Cavaliers are now actually projected to put up a total in the range of 155. And 155, 160 may not be the worst score to post here. 8 and over as an ask is very defendable.
Oh, bang. Has that got the distance? Has that got the legs?
Oh,
that is a lovely take from
Oh.
Supreet Madana. One-hand take, and you could see what that means to him and his team. A lovely take from him on the boundary, just kissing the boundary rope there. But he says, bye-bye, Ashwin. It's my time to shine.
Fantastic catch. Ridiculous catch from Supreet Madan. Just tiptoeing on the boundary and just sticking the one paw up and watching it stick. That's the way to show them how it's done. Supreet Madan, take a bow.
That's got to be catch of the season.
Yeah, fantastic catch by Supreet Madan. Ridiculously done. And made it look so easy in the end as well, which speaks to his quality and the confidence that he displays. So Supreet Madan pulls one back. 142 for 5. Ketwaru tugs this one into the onside. They press for one. They're thinking about a second. But Supreet Madan says, not so fast, my friend. And so they will settle for one. And Ketwaru, in fact, Samaru now on strike for the first time.
So, Carl, this is a good over from Gaurav Rana. Personally, if I were the skipper, I would have given it to Poro. I thought he was bowling much better, picked up 2 key wickets. So a surprise to see him bowl the second last. But yet again, he's proven me wrong, bowling well. The wicket of Ashwin too, courtesy of that very spectacular catch by Supreet Madan.
I think Kunal Barita is saving that last over for Poro. So I'd expect Poro to bowl the next one. So it could have gone either way. It could have gone Poro for the 19th, Gaurav for the 20th, or vice versa, opting to go with Gaurav first.
So Varun.
Another single taken here. And so Varun up and running. 144 for 5 then.
Yeah, Varun Samaru, the new man to the crease. Typically, Carl, we see him open proceedings, but today coming in a bit late at number 7.
And perhaps not a good showing last week. Struggled a bit in the match that they lost, the first loss to the Pennsylvania Cavaliers against the New York Gothams. We saw the top order struggle quite a bit in that matchup. And Samaru getting 16 from 22 balls there. And that might have earned him a demotion. And he was moved down the order. Batted at, in fact, opened the batting in that matchup. And so the over concludes. 7 from it. And so 1 over remains. The last over remaining here, Ariane. And Pennsylvania Cavaliers are within striking distance of, say, 155, 160. Reasonable total, would you say?
Well, 155 seems like a very good total if you're the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. No key names for the Maryland Mavericks, as we mentioned. No Jesse Singh, no Raymond Ramrata, no Rohit Swaradekar, and no Praneeth either. So you've got a lot of key, I would say, batsmen who could contribute a lot of runs in your side. So a lot of missing runs they have there from a batting perspective. So Poro to gear up. He's got a final 6. Could be the last 6 that the Mavericks could bowl in this regular season. And that's gone into the air. Screams of catch it. Does it carry? No, it doesn't.
Well, it carried, but the man wasn't able to reel it in. And so allows the batters to come back for a second. And so not the best work out in the deep today for our man out at mid-wicket. Could be Sai out there. And either way, couple of runs to Samaru. 146 the total. Woo! This time he's hit it well, but it's in the air. Should be out. Oh, no, it's not taken. Another chance goes a-begging here. And for the second time we have seen in consecutive deliveries, Samaru giving an opportunity to the Maryland Mavericks fielders, and they've accepted neither.
So, Carl, if you look at it, 4 runs from this over, courtesy of 2 drops. And in Vasav Desai's last over number 18, the first ball, a misfield by Venkat Sai out in the deep. So 8 runs should basically be cut from this score if you look at it. 2 drops and a misfield. So, courtesy of bad fielding, they're short of 8 runs.
And decide the man out there, and straight away Gaurav Rana replaced him in that long on region, and this time the ball finds the gap and gone for a boundary. And so to add insult to injury, Poro Barman should have picked up at least a wicket already in the over. Varun Samaru this time finds the gap, picks up a boundary and brings up the 150 for the Cavaliers. It's now 152 for 5 with 3 balls remaining.
So where does Poro go here? He's got 3 to go. Varun Samaru's looking very good, 9 off 4.
And has come to the party with just one intent in mind, which is to swing hard, try to connect, get the ball beyond the boundary where you can. And so far, he has swung hard and he is connected almost every time. And this time, doing well is the captain, leading from the front. And so just one then to Samaru. Brings Kataru back onto strike. 2 balls remain. 153 for 5. And the final 2 deliveries here. The Pennsylvania Cavaliers were sent in earlier this morning by Kunal Baride, who won the toss and elected straight away to have a bowl. And the bowlers have done well to restrict the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, let's say, to a total in the range of 160-ish.
Oh, that's a good-looking shot. He's just opened the face there, Carl.
This one should be a couple. They come back for a second. A good-looking throw. But the batters were well back. And so 1 ball then remain. And it's 155 now. That's the total we had been projecting for from a few overs back. And so 155 on the board with 1 ball remaining. Could we see 160 here? Could we see 159? Or some score less? Either way, the Maryland Mavericks will be asked to go at 8 and over in this chase.
Steps down the track. He's crunched that one. Katwaru, they've got a man back there. You've got to run no matter what, Katwaru. They've got to run no matter what. And Samaru was coming back for the 3, but no, they only get 2. So 157 is what the Pennsylvania Cavaliers have posted after their 20, Carl.
Yes, 13 from that final over. So a good over from the Pennsylvania Cavalier standpoint. And so with 157 for 5 at the end of their innings, what does that mean? It means that we'll be back with a chase requiring 158 at an ask of just under 8 and over. Just under 8 and over will be the ask when the Maryland Mavericks go in search of their target. So the ask will be 7.9 and over. And so we'll take a pause here and return on the other side of the break for some player reaction, and then we'll be back for the run chase.
So today's matchup, a very crucial matchup for the Maryland Mavericks. And I'm here with the man of the moment for the Maryland Mavericks, Mr. Surpreet Madan, who bowled out his 4 overs, conceded 16 runs, and took a 1 wicket, a very important wicket of Krushab Gandhi. He also took 2 very good catches, one of them being almost, I would say, the catch of the tournament. So Surpreet, firstly, a very good bowling performance. What was your thought process when you were bowling?
Nothing much. It was just I was thinking how to make my line and length and just keep delivering it there, because they were not able to hit to me. That's why I bowled my 4 overs, and it was a lefty on top, so just kept going. It delivered somehow, and yeah.
157, courtesy of a little bit of a drops in the death and some misfielding. Do you think you guys could have been chasing maybe a 135 or a 140 instead if you had a bit more of better fielding?
I know, yes, we could have, but it is what it is. It's reachable, the target still, so we just got to bat good.
And the catch that you took, the one-hand snag on the boundary, what do you have to say about that?
Nothing much. It's just habitual to it. It happened once before, and I had no idea where the boundary was. Otherwise, I would have gone with 2 hands, but it just plugged in, and yeah, good it happened. My day, maybe.
So I know 158 to win. I'll let you go back and pad out, but thank you so much for this interview. 158 for the Maryland Mavericks to qualify for the playoffs. Can they do it? All the action here, live at the SUNY Purchase Ground.
All right, so we are back at SUNY Purchase, the first of the doubleheader here on the final day of qualifications from the U.S. Premier League regular season. The matchup you're watching here is between the Pennsylvania Cavaliers and the Maryland Mavericks. The Maryland Mavericks require 158 from 120 balls and an asking rate of 7.9 per over if they should book a place into the playoffs. And so that's the requirement here. That's the equation. I'm Carl Bennett, and I'm joined by Aryan Singh. Aryan, again, we get the opportunity to see whether or not we will have either the Maryland Mavericks making their way into the playoffs, or if the current fourth-place team, the Texas Cowboys, can hang on to their place.
Carl, thank you so much. And it seems like a new Mohamed Asif coming into bowl. A nice haircut he's got today as he's gearing up to win yet another game for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers.
And so Mohamed Asif will have to carry the load here as he's without his typical bowling partners. Is the speed trio of Christopher Powell, Mario Laban, and Mohamed Asif reduced to just Mohamed Asif, as neither Chris Powell or Mario Laban are available this afternoon or available today. And so Mohamed Asif will have to carry the load.
Yeah, but he's also joined by Sujit Parabatani, left arm, orthodox, Ilas Sunny as well, Emmanuel Citron. So a good three spin duo. They've also got Varun Samaru. So they've got 4 spinners in this side. They've got Mohamed Asif as the main pacer. So we'll see where does Waru and Ryan Scott, both of them, go with their bowling options. Will they open with Sujit Parabatani, or would they go with another medium pacer?
Well, that's one thing we'll have to watch here and to see where they head. They're going to struggle. They're going to struggle, perhaps in the bowling department. Perhaps. I mean, we'll have to see some of these other bowlers step up. Again, no Mario Laban. And we know Mario Laban is in the ground. And so they've opted to rest him for this this final game. And so whomever would have come in for Mario will likely have to pick up the slack. We get the signal that we are ready for play. Umpire Irfan Saeed waves at the media center of the commentary box. Our scorer Rinku. And we are ready for the chase here. The batters are positioned in the middle. It's Tokir Hassan and Vaibhav Venkat.
Oh, that's a huge appeal. That's a massive appeal, but given not out to start off.
Would have been a very ominous start had that been given, but he was trapped on the crease, moving across the line, and only height perhaps may have been saved by height. Might have been going over. And umpire Irfan Saeed had a long look before deciding not out.
So Asif runs in for a second. Oh, that's a good-looking stroke by Vaibhav Varthak. Aggressive scenes to start, and that's come here to me in the commentary box, Carl. Oh, that's under my chair.
And ball was tugged into the onside, vacant mid-wicket area. And right into the media center it went. And so up and running are the Maryland Mavericks. They need just under 8 and over. And they're off and running. Tokir Hassan gets off the mark.
Yeah, good-looking stroke by.
In fact, Vaibhav Vartak off the mark.
Yeah, good-looking stroke by Vaibhav Vartak. Where does Asif go now? Well, he goes again down the track and through the hands. Through the hands, so back-to-back boundaries for Vaibhav Vartak. Maryland Mavericks on the charge.
So good-looking shot, a couple of clean strikes. And Vaibhav Vartak recognizing what's at stake. Taking the attack early to Mohamed Asif. 2 on the trot, back-to-back boundaries. So good start here for Vartak. And Mohamed Asif, where does he go now? Under pressure. And lots of movement in the field as Ketwaru now positioning his players at mid-on and mid-off. And so looking to try to add some reinforcements.
Carl, it's actually quite funny if the Maryland Mavericks do win today. This matchup most likely could be one of the semifinals, could be 1v4. Pennsylvania Cavaliers might finish at 1 despite even a loss. So this could be possibly a matchup for the semifinal. We might see this again next week.
And if that should come to fruition, I think that would be the matchup. And then the other matchup would likely see the New Jersey Titans taking on the Carolina Eagles, depending on the Eagles matchup later this afternoon. The Eagles actually, with a win, could go to second place. And so either way, it could be a Titans, New Jersey Titans and Eagles matchup, irrespective of what the Eagles does later on. And then to your point, if the Maryland Mavericks should pull this out, then it could be the Cavaliers taking on the Maryland Mavericks again. So good couple of deliveries here from Mohamed Asif to come back, a couple of comeback deliveries after being taken to the boundaries twice consecutively. And so he continues to make adjustments in the field, asking the players in the deep at long leg and in fact at backward square, asking that man to come inside the circle and then having the long leg go, or having the short fine leg go to long leg. And so a good change because the ball went exactly where he had positioned that man. And so that completes the over. 9 runs from it. It's the first over in the books for the Maryland Mavericks. It's 9 for none after 1.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cptfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cptfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So over number 1 in the books, and he does go to spin here, the Pennsylvania Cavaliers skipper. So he goes to spin. I think that is Varun Samaru.
That's right. Samaru has been given the ball here, so he comes into the attack. And so he'll start proceedings for or join the opening attack. That was started by Mohamed Asif, and usually would see speed and more speed from the Pennsylvania Cavaliers in the form of Chris Powell, Mario Laban, and Mohamed Asif. But none of those two in the lineup today, and so they go to the slow bowling of Samaru instead. And so key man here, Samaru, in this matchup or in this chase. Can he inflict some damage here in the power play? He'll bowl to Fiber Vartak. Vartak has been the only man to have faced any deliveries so far for the Maryland Mavericks. Almost knocked him over. A good-looking delivery. Ball outside the off stump. And a lazy-looking shot attempted by Vartak. In the end, he's fortunate to watch that one whiz by the off stump. And so he remains at the crease.
I think that's actually Hassan there, Carl. The left-hander. Gearing up for his first.
And you're absolutely right.
Varun Samaru, quite a tall spinner he is. So where does he go? Tokir Hassan possibly just putting his helmet away. And here comes, I think that's Suprit Madan to take Tokyo's helmet away. Possibly doesn't want it for the spinners, but has to realize Muhammad Asif isn't going anywhere.
And so now he is keeping the cap, and so seeming intent or content to just go with the cap. This one hit well through the gap. It beats the man at backward point, and this will be another boundary here for Tokyo-san, and that's actually his first boundary that gets him off the mark. And so it's already 12 on the board for none. So good start here for the Maryland Mavericks. They're chasing 158. And a 158, the ask is 7.9 and over. 7.9 runs and over is the ask. And so can they book themselves a place in next week's, in the playoffs, which start next week, and we see the very impressive, and that's the end of Tokyo-san. He has to go as Samaru strikes, and we'll see it here, and he's watching the off stump be knocked backwards. He has been knocked over, and so the first wicket falls is the Maryland Mavericks, 12 for 1.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So wicket has fallen for the for the Maryland Mavericks. I'm sorry, and a promotion up the order. Venkat Sai at number 3, the left-hander. So could be possibly a tactical move, but Venkat Sai, a very good player, coming up against a fired-up Varun. Samaru's just taken a wicket. So Venkat Sai, welcome to the crease.
So Venkat Sai, to your point, has been sent up the order here, and perhaps with one intent, like to get going, keep the scoreboard moving. And he starts by punching it into the gap, finds the gap well. It will be a chase here. Doesn't have the legs to get here. In fact, it does, as it goes all the way just enough to get to the boundary. So Venkat Sai up and running straight away. Picked the gap expertly as a man running for all he was worth there. Was Ashwin. Gave it a good chase. Couldn't pull it back inside the boundary.
Yeah, some footwork there from Ashwin, but not successful on that occasion. Venkat Sai up and running. First ball. He's all about his business here. He's got 2 to go, Venkat. Oh, a heave towards the onside. He'll get 1. I think he wants 2, Venkat. He's running halfway down. Could be a chance. No, that's not the best of throws, and a good signs of aggression from Venkat Sai. He's having Vaibhav Vartak run quite a bit.
And clearly Venkat Sai has been sent to the crease here to keep the scoreboard moving. He's gone on the attack on the 2 balls he has faced. He's gone hard at Samaru, and so clearly not sent here to look around and to rotate strike. He's been sent with one goal in mind: get the scoreboard, get the run rate up. And again, 3 deliveries, we've seen him attack every single one, and so that will close out the over. 11 runs from it. It's 19 for 1 after 2.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे पेट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
जाएगी.
रखूँ. हाँ.
बेबी की चिट चैट 3 minutes में? Impossible. मगर MTR का 3 मिनट उपमा just add hot water, mix, cover और 3 minutes में ready. MTR 3-minute breakfast.
So Mohamed Asif coming back to bowl the Maryland Mavericks, almost at 20 here. So striking good, but the wicket of Tokir Hassan could prove costly. The local boy Venkat Sai comes to the crease. He's already got 7 runs to his name, but he's facing a geared up, fired up Mohamed Asif.
And so Venkat Sai will have it all to do here. Again, sent to the wicket with a specific task in mind, and which is to go at these bowlers in the power play. And so far, he has been successful, but he is going up here against a very experienced campaigner in the form of Mohamed Asif. And if there is a bowler who knows where to put this ball on this wicket to keep it from traveling, it is Mohamed Asif. And he gets a ball that cuts him in two. A loud appeal. Not out, says the umpire. They were screaming and carrying on and looking around. And Mohamed Asif, as if to say, like, what could that have touched? As he was cut in two here. And you see the delivery there just going, whizzing by. And umpire Irfan Syed not interested. And so the score remains at 19. So, but a couple of good deliveries from Mohamed Asif has certainly kept Venkat Sai off. Just guessing a little bit to start. And so here he is once again, Mohamed Asif running away from us. And a good-looking delivery again. Registered a dot in the books. And so every time a dot ball is bowled, we know pressure builds on the opposition. Venkat Sai, he had been productive in the previous over, but now he's having some conversations with Vaibhav Vartak, who walks down perhaps to say keep going. Just watch him and play. And gets a good ball here, just back of a length, making height. And so a good over this from Mohamed Asif. His first over cost him 8 runs. He's come back here at 4 dots to start. His second over number 3 in this chase. And definitely putting his immense experience on display.
Oh, that's a good shot from Venkat Sai, but they've got protection in the deep, Carl. So the experience of Mohamed Asif has been proving to be a huge benefit for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. A good over for him.
He's really done a magnificent job so far, keeping things tight here in this over. And so, can he finish this strong? Vaibhav Vartak back on stripe. Vartak, a couple of boundaries in his tally so far. And again, the Maryland Mavericks looking to maximize the number of runs that they can accumulate in this power play. Can they push to pick up more than just the one that's been conceded already in this over? Here is Mohamed Asif to close out over number 3. Gets a good ball, and that will close out the over. Just one from it. It's 20 for 1.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So fourth over being bowled in this matchup. A must-win matchup for the Maryland Mavericks here. Varun Samaru continuing with ball in hand. We saw it last time. Venkat Sai was taking him on the charge. And now Varun Samaru needs to gear up to Venkat Sai. Not the greatest of overs previously for him, Carl, but Venkat Sai He's got something against Samaru here today.
Well, let's see if he can continue it. And bails have been picked, but umpire Irfan Saeed not moved.
Quick hands that is from Katwaru.
Very, very talented wicketkeeper, Stephen Katwaru. Good pair of hands, very smart cricketer, and one of the best glove men we know in the New York tri-state area. Man who comes out of TNT can really deliver the goods with bat and with the gloves. And a very keen cricketing mind as well. One of the better captains, marshalling his troops, using his bowlers well, and leading the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. Just one defeat so far in phase 2. And it was a shock defeat at the hands of the New York Gothams. And so Pennsylvania Cavaliers looking to finish this preliminary round with a victory. And if they are able to do so, they would be the top seed, or would definitively secure the top seed going into the playoffs. And you mentioned it earlier, Ariane, if they are to win here, we could, well, if they end up losing here, they still could end up with the number 1 seed, giving their very strong net run rate. And we could, in fact, then see another matchup, this exact matchup as one of the semifinals when we come back to this venue next week for championship weekend. And so we'll have to watch and see how things unfold here. A couple of singles in the over so far. 22 the total on the board. Ven Katsai on 9. In fact, both batters on 9. And still 136 more runs to get from 99 balls. Asking rate is 8.2. And so the Maryland Mavericks have it all to do here, but they have their destiny in their own hands.
Oh, that's a nice shot from Venkatai. He's charging for one. He'll get one. So it's a good shot, crunched off the middle, but straight to Ryan Scott. Regardless, one is one, Carl.
And so Ryan Scott well positioned at mid-off, just making sure that the ball doesn't get beyond him and keeping the batters just to one. And for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, they'll have to look to try to restrict this Maryland Mavericks team as best as possible in the power play. If they're able to do so in the power play, that then puts the pressure back on Maryland, pushes the asking rate upwards. And that's where wickets may start to fall. Another one goes down here as a Viba Vartak again falls, trying to go across the line to Samaru, who picks up his second wicket. It's now 23 for 2.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So, captain turns to left arm orthodox, Sujit Parbatani. Experienced campaigner here. Second spinner being brought in. We did mention, Carl, no Laban, no Mario Laban, no Christopher Powell. So, missing the 2 speedsters from Jamaica?
They are, but they have done well with Varun Samaru being employed, and he came in and picked up a couple of wickets. And so Samaru has given way here, and the new batter coming to the middle is Ravi Patel, And so Ravi Patel comes in at 23 for 2. And the Maryland Mavericks have it all to do. And we see members of Adil Naushawan and members of the Texas Cowboys have come into the ground to put their support behind the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. They need the Cavaliers to win in order to keep the Maryland Mavericks out. And if they are to do so, then the Cowboys would be the beneficiaries. And so we understand why the Texas Cowboys are here and why their support is truly behind the Pennsylvania Cavaliers.
Well, Carl, I'd love to have that much support at our games, but it is what it is. And Ravi Patel gearing up now. New man to the crease, yet to face his first ball, coming up against the experience of Sujit Parabatani. Where does Parabatani go here? Young man to the crease, has not faced any balls yet. Oh, and straight into the gloves of Katwaru.
And so the action will continue to pick up. We'll look to pick up here now. It's going to get interesting as we've seen now. In fact, it finds the gap well, does he? And this could be a boundary. In fact, it's crossed the boundary now. Good looking shot from Ravi Patel. Finds the gap exquisitely, just picking that gap perfectly. So you see it there going into the gap. And across the boundary it goes. The fielder gives up the chase. And that's good looking runs, 4 good looking runs to Ravi Patel to get him off the mark.
Second ball for Ravi Patel. Just finds the gap between backward point and point and backward point. They've got third man, backward point, point covers, extra covers, and that's straight up into the air. A man is settling underneath it. Can it be taken? Yes, it is. So Ravi Patel 4 and out. Parabatani picks up his first. The Maryland Mavericks in some trouble. The power play hasn't even ended. And 28 for 3, Carl.
Yes, indeed. And the man coming around there is Krushab Gandhi. And he takes a very comfortable catch. Ball was in the air for quite some time. And so he scoops it. And so now trouble here for the Maryland Mavericks as they lose their third wicket.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
Well, if you are the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, you're thinking 7 wickets. But if you're the Maryland Mavericks and Captain Kunal Baride, you're thinking 130 runs. Skipper comes to the crease at number 5. And Carl, a lot of responsibility here for him. 3 wickets down, and the power play is still up and running.
Yes, Sariani, he has it all to do, Kunal Baride. And not an easy task from this point out. They still have 130 to get. Asking rate is up close to 8.5, and so with 7 wickets in hand and not a lot of accomplished batsmen, so to speak, they probably have another couple of what you would say a recognized batsmen. It's going to be a very difficult task, this. And so the captain will stand at the non-striker's end for the moment and watch the proceedings. Parabatani. This one in the air. Is it another? It is. Ryan Scott takes it. Easily taken. A tame dismissal for Venkat Sai. And the wheels appear to be coming off here for the Maryland Mavericks. They lose their 4th. It's now 28 for 4.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cptfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cptfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So 28 for 4, the total on the board. Batters out. Tokar Hassan for 4. Vaibhav Vartak for 9. Venkat Sai for 11. Just recently, just before Venkat Sai was Ravi Patel. He went for 4 wickets falling at 12, 23, 28, and 28. A spot of bother here for the Maryland Mavericks as they appear to be falling apart. And then new batter walks to the middle. And it's the new man is Vasav Desai. And so he joins Kunal Paride and comes in at a crucial point here. 5 overs gone. Maryland Mavericks struggling here.
And new bowler last Sunny Carl, former Bangladeshi international players, played a lot of cricket in the subcontinent, so a lot of experience backing this experienced campaigner as he's going against 2 new batsmen who haven't faced the ball yet.
And so what better start that he needs, what better way to be introduced and to get 2 very new batters at the crease. Starts with a good ball, and Kunal gets off straight away with a single, turns the strike over to Vasav Desai.
I think Kunal just wants to get set for a bit. Last over of the power play here, so regardless of that, I don't think they want to take things into serious matter where they want to go boom boom already. Only 1 ball has been faced between both of these batsmen, so they're going to have to take it very, very cautiously.
So we'll watch how they progress, but it's all in the hands of the Maryland Mavericks. It's up to them whether or not they will advance into the semifinal or into championship round play. Again, they need to win here this afternoon to have any chance. And Elias Sonny, will bring pressure here. Who will put their hand up for the Maryland Mavericks? Swing and a miss. And Ketwaru again, just a really smart glove work behind the sticks. Batter was nowhere near the pitch of the delivery. Swinging all around it, was well through the shot before the ball arrived. And so, again, the intent is clear on the part of the Maryland Mavericks batters. But the execution may need a little bit to be desired. Ball again outside the off stump. And good over this from Elias Sonny.
Stephen Kutwaru having a bit of a laugh with Vasav Desai. Possibly because he kicked the ball a little bit there. You've seen that a lot in this competition, Carl. A lot of players just having fun with each other.
And good sportsmanship.
Oh, and that's a huge appeal, and he's raised the dreaded finger.
And
Vasav Desai.
Did you say you've never seen Rowan McFarlane give a player out like before wicket? Well, if there was such a scenario, it's this one here. Desai goes without scoring. It's now 29 for 5. And the Maryland Mavericks middle order has fallen away completely. 29 for 5, 5.4.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So Supreet Madan, the new man to come to the crease, had the opportunity to have some conversation with him midway through. Good total for the Maryland Mavericks to chase, but doesn't seem like it. 5 wickets down, half the team back in the hut. And Carl, things seeming to be a bit complicated for the Maryland Mavericks right now.
Yes, the Maryland Mavericks are in a spot of bother here, needing a must-win situation and needing a victory, a victory to advance into the semifinal, and maybe that has added to the pressure here that has come up on the Maryland Mavericks. This time, Supreet gets off the mark straight away, and that will close out the over. It's 5 runs from the over plus the wicket. But Maryland Mavericks in a spot of bother at the end of the power play. They're 33 for 5.
Of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
ऐसे मत लेट किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारी ट्रीट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
जाएगी.
रखूँ. हाँ.
बेबी की चिट-चैट 3 minutes में? Impossible. मगर MTR का 3 minute उपमा just add hot water, mix, cover और 3 minutes में ready. MTR 3 minute breakfast. India का breakfast.
So end of the power play here, Carl. 5 wickets for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. So they're in the driver's seat right now. And 1+, I'd like to mention 0 extras by this Pennsylvania Cavaliers bowling lineup.
And so that just speaks to the extraordinary discipline displayed by the Pennsylvania Cavaliers bowlers. They know that they may not have put the most imposing target on the board, and as such they have come to the party, have bowled straight, they've bowled a very tidy line, very consistent lengths, and they have not conceded any extras. So that just speaks to the professionalism of this outfit.
So Kanal Baride and Supreet Madan have to bat out all the overs here at this point. You can't think about hitting too many maximums. It's no net run rate, doesn't matter. It's if you win, you're through. It's very simple. So, okay, that's a good-looking stroke from Kunal, though. Flicks it away. We'll only get 1. Not going to go for the second Samaru in the deep.
And so, now they were contemplating going for an extra run on the overthrow, but in the end, not able to capitalize. And so what does the Maryland Mavericks do here? They will need a partnership of substance. Can the captain, Kunal Baride, shepherd the chase the rest of the way? 5 wickets are down. And so only 4 batters remain in the hut. And right now it's going to come down to the will to win on the part of the Maryland Mavericks. Do they have the will to win, and do they have the execution at their disposal? Are they able to execute here? They need a captain perhaps to play a captain's knock to anchor or shepherd this chase. And it will require a special innings from someone. And so we'll watch and see how things unfold. But the asking rate has started to become problematic for the Maryland Mavericks. Now up into 9 and over. And so pressure here will start to build. Just 34 runs on the board, which speaks to just the quality of the power play that the Pennsylvania Cavaliers had. Power play conceded just 33 runs. They picked up 5 wickets in the power play, which is an extraordinary response when defending 157.
Got deep batting, the Maryland Mavericks. Still in the hut is Poro, Dhirendra Sharma, Varshil Shah, and Gaurav Rana. So they do have deep batting. They have batting at almost about number 10-ish. So they've got to keep getting runs, though. Doesn't matter if wickets fall. You got to keep getting runs, Carl.
Indeed, and Ketsoru might have been injured here. Took a ball. The ball did clip the bat and then cannoned into Ketsoru. Seems a little shaken up for the moment. And getting some attention. And again, we've seen good sportsmanship this entire phase 2. And you see the players, not only Ketsoru's teammates coming to check on his well-being, but also you see the batter there, the captain, Kunal Baride, also reaching over just to check to make sure that his opposite number is not too worse for the wear and tear. And so Ketsoru seems to be back in good order. And Kunal Baride now to face Parbatani. Turned again into the onside. And they scamper through easily for a single to close out over number 7. And so 3 runs from it. It's 36 for 5.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So 13 overs remain in this matchup. Again, the Texas Cowboys contingent have arrived in the ground just to make sure they keep an eye on proceedings here. They have nothing to do with anything that's happening out in the middle except cheering on one outcome. Only one outcome will benefit them, and that outcome is for the Cavaliers to keep winning. If the Cavaliers should win, the Cowboys, who are currently positioned in 4th place, they would be the last of the 4 teams to qualify for championship weekend, which will bowl off next weekend. And the teams that will definitely be playing next weekend are the New Jersey Titans and the Carolina Eagles and these Pennsylvania Cavaliers. So there's only one spot remaining up for grabs, and it will come down to what transpires here. And that position is between the Cowboys and these Maryland Mavericks. So another single taken. And so this over another good one from a Pennsylvania Cavalier standpoint. They've been very economical, just managing to keep the scoreboard, keep things tight on the scoreboard. Just 37 on the board. Still 121 more runs to get. Elias Sonny has bowled a couple of good overs, Ariane.
Yeah, it's good bowling from Elias Sonny. Only 1 run from his allotted 3, and then in his previous over, 5 runs and a wicket of Vasav Desai. The first time I've seen umpire Ron McFarlane raise the dreaded finger off a leg before appeal.
The question is being asked is if he in fact had that dreaded finger, and proved that he does have it in his arsenal. Quicker delivery from Elias Sonny there, and so Sonny just mixing it up. Another good delivery, this one keeping a little bit low, so good variation here by Elias Sonny, and 1 and over so far. And the more these overs click over where the Maryland Mavericks aren't scoring 8 runs or better, the more that asking rate continues to escalate. This one is punched away towards backward point, and Samaru is up there and can't stop one, but one doesn't hurt the Pennsylvania Cavaliers cause as the over comes to an end. 2 runs from it. It's 38 for 5 after 8. So 38 for 5. Saprit Madan, he's on 6. He's on strike here. And Emmanuel Cicheran has been given a ball. So he's been introduced here for the first time. So he becomes the 5th bowler to be used here by the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. And so 10 runs and over now the ask, as 120 to get from 72 balls. And so an even 10 and over is the going rate from here out for the Maryland Mavericks. And so he starts with the loosener. And outside the off stump, not wide enough to be called a wide, but and so the Pennsylvania Cavaliers have yet to concede any extras. And we're through 8 overs. We're into the 9th over, and so that's an impressive feat not to have conceded not even leg by.
Nice shot that is, Saprit Madan, but finds the man in the deep. Suji Parabatani, that is. So his first couple, Emmanuel Cicheran.
And so you see the field continuing to maneuver here, just players mobilizing, going into different areas. The right-hander now on strike, Kunal Barita, the captain. And we see Gandhi coming into a position short at short mid-wicket. Ball turned right to Gandhi straight away. And so the score remains at 13-9. So slow sledding for the Maryland Mavericks. They're going at just 4.6 and over. 4.6 and over is the current going rate. And so that's going to pose a problem in the end. Good work in the deep by the Cavaliers. So very sharp cricket, good out cricket here by the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. And we've seen all these players come to the party. And that man out in the deep doing really good work, keeping the batters from being able to advance their total. Still 119 more required. And this one is going down the leg side. This could be the first extras. And in fact, it's runs. And so runs here coming off the blade of the captain, Kuno Baride. And so that helps the Maryland Mavericks cause a much-needed boundary, Ariane.
Yeah, a very good shot from Kunal Baride. A lot of innovation from him. You saw in one of the matchups, I think it was between my Carolina Eagles and the Maryland Mavericks, he scooped Pujan Modi, one of the best bowlers in this entire tournament. A quick scoop over fine leg. So he's not afraid to use innovation, goes for a bit of a sweep on that ball, and now he's got one to go here, Emmanuel Cicheran.
And so now protection now being moved into the short fine leg region as Mohammad Asif, the legend, has been moved into that position. This one played up into the offside. They scamper through for a quick single. And they'll get it in the end to close out the over. 6 runs coming from it. It's 9 gone, 44 for 5.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है, इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cptfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cptfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
With Wareshi, the new man with ball in hand, he seems to be a medium pacer, Carl. So, first signs of pace ever since Asif has been taken off.
Well, let's see. We have not seen him used before by the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, and he has not had to be used, obviously, because the Cavaliers have had the benefit of Chris Powell, Mario Laban in their bowling attack. they're missing those 2 today, and so somebody will have to make up those 8 overs. And right here, looks like Ashwin is one of those options to absorb a few. Doesn't appear to be that quick, but definitely Bowles seems to be a more of a line and length sort of a bowler. Got that delivered right into the block hole, so pegging a fuller length to these batters. And this one is steered away nicely. Finds the gap. Mohammad Asif is just in retrieval mode, and he'll just have to go fetch, as that one will push the Maryland Mavericks up to 49. And a very good looking shot from Supreet.
Nice shot in the gap. Just opened the face of the blade there. And runs from Madan. Madan and Baride going to have to put up a lengthy partnership here. They've got to bat. The 20 overs take the game till that last ball.
Well, they have it all to do. It will be, perhaps this is the partnership that could determine the outcome.
This could also be the over. That's in the air. That's going to be taken by Parabatani. He won't drop any. He won't drop that.
And Supreet gives it away just like that. He was looking like he was in the fight, and then suddenly looking to go big at an inopportune moment, and so hits it down the throat of Parabatani. He scoops it, and so it's now 49 for 6. 49 for 6. We're in over number 10.
$49 for 6. 4 wickets now only for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers to confirm themselves and that number 1 rank.
And they've really looked the part, have really come to the party, the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. And absent a couple of drop catches against the New York Gothams last week, they probably would have been an undefeated team here headed to the playoffs. If they should pull this one out against the Maryland Mavericks, they will have all the wind in their sails going into the playoffs, and will likely take on the Texas Cowboys, it would appear, as the Maryland Mavericks may have given up the fight here, as they're 49 for 6, chasing 158 needed for victory. So 109 more runs are needed from 63 balls at an asking rate, better than 10. Here is Ashwin with a good ball, and so this over, a pretty good one from Ashwin, has really been steady.
Yeah, broke the partnership of Baride and Madan. And Madan, he was looking good. I thought Ashwin could have been the bowler that they wanted to target. One of the only pace bowlers that they're using here today. No Laban, no Powell. But instead falls victim to Mr. Parabatani out in the deep. And he's got 1 to go. Ashwin, a very good over from him. He's only conceded 5 runs of the first 2 balls. And then from there, a wicket and 2 consecutive dots.
So a really good over this, given the position in the game in which Ashwin was tossed the ball. And this one is taking the pad, perhaps, running down towards fine legs. So here an extra should be coming for the first time, and in fact none comes. And so runs it is. And so the 50 comes up here at the end of over number 10. 6 runs come from the over. And so it's now 50 for 6 at the midway point here for the Maryland Mavericks.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे पेट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
रही है.
रखूँ. हाँ.
बेबी की चिट चैट 3 minutes में इम्पॉसिबल, मगर MTR का 3 minute उपमा जस्ट ऐड हॉट वाटर, मिक्स, कवर और 3 minutes में रेडी. MTR 3-minute breakfast.
So Cicerano will continue. His first over cost him just 6. And so he starts with a good ball to Buride, who defends.
Asking rate just under 11, Carl, so a lot needed from the captain and Poro today.
So can Maryland Mavericks pull victory from the jaws of defeat? They're in a spot of bother here at the midway point with their season on the line and destiny in their own hands. And the top order has fallen away. Tokir Hassan can play no further part. Vaibhav Vartek can play no further part. Venkat Sai can play no further part. Ravi Patel can play no further part. Vasav Desai and Saprit Madan can play no further part. And so the question comes down to these two out in the middle. Then Gaurav Rana, Dhirendra Sharma, and Varshil Shah in the hut. Can they find a way to get the Maryland Mavericks over the line?
Semi-finalists from Phase 1. A lot at stake here. They'd want to go back to the semis. They'd want to go back and see possibly a chance to play in that final. And that concludes the 11th over here. A good over from Citron, conceding only one. 51 for 6 for the Maryland Mavericks. So, Poro on strike, yet to get off the mark against Ashwin. Ashwin gearing up, medium pacer here, coming back for one more, taking the wicket of Suprit Madan in the previous over. So the captain Kunal Buride, and starts off first extras of the day for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers.
And it comes all the way in over number 12, and that's an impressive achievement for any bowling unit to not concede not even one extra. And leg byes are generally out of the control of the fielding team. And so to not even concede a leg bye all the way through over number 12 is a pretty impressive accomplishment by the Pennsylvania Cavaliers.
So the Maryland Mavericks, 52 runs, 53 runs for them, 105 needed. And they have 8.5 overs in their arsenal to get that 105 runs. Where do they go? Where does Poro go? Tries to flick that one. Good keeping from Katwaru, but wide again. So 2 wides in the over.
And after not seeing any extras for 11 overs, suddenly the part-time man, Ashwin, has given away a couple here. And so maybe the pressure building on him in terms of being asked to pick up wickets here, close out the Maryland Mavericks, and he comes back with a good ball.
It's a good ball from Ashwin, 9 for 1 after his 8 balls, so he's bowling well. If you exclude those 2 wides, he'd have a very economical spell of 7 runs. It's still economical regardless, but still Ashwin searching for wickets. That's what he needs here. And a big shot from Poro. That's massive. He'll get half a dozen for that. Save your legs. And watch out if you've got a car parked back there.
And they probably should have given him 12 for that, as it was hit a long way into the deep. And Poro taking out his frustration on Ashwin and smashed it into the parking lot. A CBTF maximum, 60 for 6. Poro up and running with a maximum.
Now, why did he come at number 8? Imagine we saw him at the likes of possibly 6, 5, 4. Poro, we know that in the typical local leagues, in the local league of the Cricket League of New Jersey and Millennium Cricket League bats a bit up the order. Brute batsman, he is at around number 4 to 6.
So we know at the very least he has the capability. What it will require now is execution, and it's going to require somebody putting their heads down and making a concerted effort here to go get these 98 runs that the Maryland Mavericks need. They want to stay in the hunt for the Phase 2 championship, and it all comes down to this match. The winner, or the semifinalists, or the folks playing on championship day, have all been settled with the exception of the 4th finalist, and this game will determine whom that 4th finalist will be. The only other game to be played here in round 7 will feature the Carolina Eagles taking on the New York Gothams, and that game, the only possible implications that may have is who may ultimately finish in 2nd versus who may finish in 3rd. But this is the game that determines whether one team stays in the playoff at this juncture, which the Texas Cowboys have 1 foot in, and the Maryland Mavericks are fighting desperately here to dislodge that foot and put their own 2 feet in. So that's the equation. That's what's at stake here, ladies and gentlemen. And so we have now just about 8.3 overs to find out what that equation will look like. So the ball now back with Ashwin, and after having been inspected by umpire Ron McFarlane, who's satisfied now that the ball hasn't sustained enough damage where it can no longer be used. And so here's Ashwin, and this one is well driven, but right back to Ashwin, who feels his own bowling on this follow through. So good work here. A good comeback delivery. Can Poro take another 1 or 2 maximums out of this over?
Tries to go for it, but can't.
And so then he'll have just the one final ball to see if they can at least get past the current asking rate. 9 has been conceded in this over so far. Asking rate is more per over now, is more like 12.
Good shot that is. He's hit it straight to Parabatani, though he's not going to misfield that.
Yeah, Parabatani very capable in the outfield. Scoops it, pulls it in. That will close out the over. 1 from that last ball, 10 from the over. It's 61 for 6 after 12.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So 61 for 6. Sicharan continues. Slower ball tugged into the mid-wicket region. On the charge is Samaru. Can't get there. And so well-needed boundary by Poro. And so he goes into double figures. Score up to 65. Good-looking shot. Well-needed for the Maryland Mavericks.
Carl, I don't know. Could this be the over in the loss for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers? Emmanuel Citron bowled the second last over, and that's where everything changed. He gave 20 runs. 2, 4, 6, 2, 6. So they took him on the charge there. But we see a similar strategy. The hard-hitting Poro and the captain Kunaparide, where do they go? And they try to go big. That's it in a similar gap, but Varun Samaru is there, so only 1.
And so it's going to take a yeoman's effort here. It's going to take an innings, a special innings from one of these batters, or an innings of epic proportion if the Maryland Mavericks should get over the line. Hit well. Samaru takes it. that's the end of Baride. Samaru running across and taking a very composed, very clean catch.
Seems to have just been finding timing there. Baride didn't put much force. He had it on the middle of the bat, but Samaru was there and he snags that one. And 7 down now for the Maryland Mavericks. The chase is getting more complicated for them now.
And so now is the die cast here for the Maryland Mavericks. They played their final match of 2022 Phase 2. It looks like they may have, as the new batter walks to the middle. And we see members of the New York Gothams making their way into the ground. They are up next as the new man strides out to the middle. And it's Gaurav Rana who comes out to the middle. And so he'll be the man at the non-striker's end for the moment. So Sicharan picks up his first wicket. And so now we've seen 2 wickets to Samaru, 2 wickets to Parbatani, 1 to Elias Sunny, and 1 to Sicharan. This one tugged into the onside, and so Samaru on his horse once again. And this time holds the batters to just 1. It will bring Gaurav Rana on to strike for the first time. 67 then for 7, 158 was the total, was the ask at the outset. That was the target. 91 more are needed to get there. Only 44 balls remain. Or 7.2 overs, whichever your preference might be. As another delivery, another single taken, hit up towards Manu Sharma. And so he comes up throwing. And so the score up to 68 for 7.
Oh, lovely stroke. That is, it's a CBT of maximum from Poro. And he won't hold back now. He still thinks they have a chance. The Maryland Mavericks 74 for 7. 7 overs to go.
And what a strike that was. A clean strike. And I might have mentioned Manu Sharma in the prior delivery. It was actually Abdul Malik out in the deep. But a big strike from Poro. And he has definitely come to the fight here and carrying the fight for the Maryland Mavericks. And he might be the man if they're to get over the line. He may have to be the man to play that epic, that special innings we've been talking about. Ariane, can he in fact lead the charge here and pull off what would be a stunning turn to get the Maryland Mavericks over the line?
So, Carl, here's where I would go with odd and even for each pair. So, what I think Gaurav Rana should do here, go with odd numbers. Got to go 1s and 3s at this point. Got to give most of the strike to the main man, Poro. He's striking at around 172. So, a hard-hitting batsman he is. Give him a 0-2-4-6 approach. Let him bat. Let him hog up balls. That, I think, could be 2 regardless. Misfield sloppy work, the first time we've seen that by the Pennsylvania Cavaliers.
Yeah, they have been pretty on point, but straight away they give away a couple, and so not the effort that Elias Sunny would have been looking for. And nonetheless, the Maryland Mavericks continue to hang in the fight. But do they have enough resources left at their disposal? A good delivery from Sunny. Pushes Gaurav Rana back as he is looking to punch up through the offside. Just 40 balls remaining here. And this one a diving effort. It will run up towards the third man region. And looks like runs here to Gaurav Rana. So he'll turn the strike over. 7's on the board, 77 for 7. And only 39 balls now remain for the Maryland Mavericks if there's ever a time where they say desperation will set in, this probably could be it with your season on the line. And they push this one up into the offside, takes off for a single. And for now, the Maryland Mavericks and even Poro is content to just keep the scoreboard moving. But they'll need some lusty blows to be struck here. And Gaurav Rana back on to strike. Swing and a miss. And another good delivery and another good over this from Elias Sonny so far with one ball remaining. Can he complete what would be a very good over for him at this juncture? We're into over number 14 given what remains to be had. And he does make this into a really good over from a Pennsylvania Cavaliers perspective. Just 4 runs from it. It's 14 gone, 78 for 7.
ओपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So 6 overs to go. 6 overs, possibly the last 6 overs for the Maryland Mavericks in this regular season. They've got to play these last 6 overs like it's the last that they'll play. A lot to deal with here.
So what do they have in store over these last 6? Is this their season, or does their season come to an end here? The Maryland Mavericks, they need 80 runs to say otherwise. Only 3 wickets in hand. So it's left up to 4 batters to get them across the line. Poro Berman, Gaurav Rana, and in the hut we have Dhirendra Sharma and Varshil Shah. They're the only ones that can help the Maryland Mavericks from here. And deliveries like those from the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, where they concede a wide. And so this one hit into the gap. And around comes Samaru, does well. And Samaru has done a tremendous job out patrolling that mid-wicket area this afternoon. And so he saves another couple of runs.
Almost tripped. I thought he overran that one on that occasion. Varun Samaru and Parabatani gearing up to bowl yet another. And that's it straight to Ryan Scott at point. So very good in the ring fielding by the Pennsylvania Cavaliers.
And that stellar fielding has only added pressure onto the Maryland Mavericks. They've just been put on the pressure from the very outset. The 5 wickets that they lost in the power play was effectively their undoing. And a couple of runs there won't hurt the Pennsylvania Cavaliers' cause. It was asking rate now getting closer to 14 and over. And so the Cavaliers really in a strong position to close the deal. And they have the horses to do it. They have experience at their disposal. And they have the quality bowlers in their bowling arsenal, even though they're missing a couple of their key quicks. They have definitely proven that the replacements can live up to the expectations set and the standards set by the big men. Just 32 balls remain now, or 5.2 overs.
That's a good shot. He's crunched that one, but he'll only get one. Samaru out in the deep. Won't misfield that. Good fielder outside the inner circle. And Perbatani's got 1 to go here. He's bowled very well. He's given 6 off of his 5.
And bowling here at 2 for 14 in the 3rd over. So good economy rate and has been a wicket taker. Swing and a miss. That will close out the over. 6 from it. 15 gone. Time for the fast 5. It's 84 for 7.
So Ilas Sunny to bowl the 16th over. Maryland Mavericks must win for them, but victory seems to be slipping out of their hands. 3 more wickets needed for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers here, Carl.
And the Maryland Mavericks have sort of watched it slip away, not only in this match, but their last 2-3 matches. They have suffered some astonishing defeats, which have effectively changed their fortunes. At one point, they were riding high, just behind the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, were sitting in second place for quite some time, but they've seen over the past couple their prospects really change, not for the better, and so finding themselves in a very difficult position. And we'll give you what has transpired with the Maryland Mavericks over the last few matches. They're
gonna have to go for 2 here, Carl. They have to go for 2. Poro has to come. There's no way you can win this game from single double anymore. You've got to go for boundaries. And the man that's well established, Poro, he's already on 25. He's got a hog strike. He's got to have to hit some big hits now.
Yes, it's coming down to the point in this match where they do have to just throw caution to the wind, have a go. Can they do so successfully?
Has to go. Goes high. Does it go high enough? No, it doesn't. Fielder settling underneath that, and he's taking it. That is the end of Poro and possibly the end of the Maryland Mavericks' chances of qualifying for the semifinals.
And Abdul Malik, what a stunning catch. And we have seen some really good catching today. And that one was a special one. Out of the top drawer, Abdul Malik running across. He had to run a long way. And in the end, took it down low. And Poro goes 88 for 8. That could be the last nail in the coffin here for the Maryland Mavericks. And the Texas Cowboys are applauding as they see their prospects brighten. It looks like they'll be playing here next Saturday. 88.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cptfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cptfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So Varshil Shah walks to the middle. He'll be the non-striker for the moment. Gaurav Rana on 8. 88 for 8. Elias Sunny still with ball in hand. And he'll finish up his spell here as bowled 2 for 15 with 1 ball remaining. And a very good spell it is for Elias Sunny, irrespective of what happens on this delivery, which is just punched down the ground for 1. And so that will close out over number 16. 5 from it. It's 89 for 8.
2 wickets now needed for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers to confirm victory. And I mean, Carl, basically, indirectly, I'd like to say that it's basically a win for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, but not yet on the record.
I think it's all over bar the crying, Ariane. And it's going to come in the next couple of overs here, or the next 2 wickets. 4 overs remain in the season for the Maryland Mavericks, or 2 wickets, whichever comes sooner. And so Gaurav Rana will be the man on strike. Varshil Shah stands at the non-striker's end. Mohammad Asif has been brought back, and we know he's been brought back for one reason only, and that's to target the stumps. And so he'll be looking to pick up his first wicket here on the afternoon, bowling at Gaurav Rana.
Yeah, the experience of Mohammad Asif plays a vital role here for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers, Carl. One thing I just recently found out, actually, I know T20 international cricket started at around 2006-ish, back when I was in diapers, and Pakistan made their international debut in the T20s against England, and Mohammad Asif was part of that playing 11, and he actually broke a record that game. He bowled the first ever maiden in a T20 international. He bowled it in his 3rd over. Had a good day that day, took 2-ish wickets, and he's been part of that historical mark for Pakistani cricket. So what does he do today in USPL cricket?
Well, we've seen what he's done so far. Only conceded 10, and having batters skipping around, and you can tell he's bowling at the tail here because Varshil Shah is skipping around in the crease, and Mohammad Asif is just bowling at half the pace he used to. So I have to say, as we think back through when T20 cricket started, there was a time when T20 cricket, when 120 was considered a good score in T20. And over the years, 120 has turned into a paltry total. And so that's just it just speaks to the evolution of the game and how mightily things have changed over the course of these last 18 years.
And just not much here. Just every ball going to Kutwaru's gloves. So some keeping practice for him later today.
Yeah, and Varshil Shah out of his element here against the former the Pakistani international quick. And if you're Mohammad Asif, how are you not bowling at the sticks at this point? Got to target the base of off stump. Swing and a miss again, and in fact appealing for the wicket of Varshil Shah, asking umpire Irfan Saeed what would have made that noise. Irfan Saeed having no love for Mohammad Asif there.
It's very funny. Whenever I've seen Mohammad Asif appeal, whether it's a leg before or a cut behind, it's very funny. He basically pleads with the umpire. He thinks everything is plumb, but I don't blame him. If I were him, I would be doing the same thing.
Here he is, his final ball of over 17, swing and a miss, and this one will get by Kutwaru, and could be buys coming up. We'll wait and see. And the buys signal, so that will close out the over, just 2 runs from it. And so it's 91 for 8 at the end of 17.
Previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे पेट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
जाएगी.
रखो. हाँ.
बेबी की चिट-चैट 3 minutes में? Impossible. मगर MTR का 3 minute उपमा, just add hot water, mix, cover और 3 minutes में ready. MTR 3 minute breakfast. India का breakfast.
And knockout games don't seem to be the strength of the Maryland Mavericks here, Carl. Phase 1, knockout game between them and the Florida Sharks, the semifinal, bowled out for 81 runs there. And here we see them struggling at 91 for 8. 2 wickets needed, and Parabatani being brought back for his final 6.
And the Maryland Mavericks, as we were pointing out, got off to a really good start, but they have lost their last 3 games. They lost to the Florida Sharks by 35 runs. They lost to the Carolina Eagles by 8 wickets. And then last week they lost to the New Jersey Titans by 6 wickets. And so they've gone from being second in the tables, where they were almost an assured shoo-in to be playing in the semifinal, to now where they could be losing their 4th consecutive game, and that has spoken to their fortunes, as this one has gone away for a boundary. And that explains why the Maryland Mavericks are in the predicament where they are, where they're about to see their season come to a devastating end.
22 needed, the required ask, Carl. So at this point, don't know what is going through the minds of both Gaurav Rana and Varshil Shah. Might just be thinking, try to heave at everything, possibly try to end off the season on a good note.
Well, right now they're only playing for statistics, I'd say, because it doesn't look possible from this point, as singles will not help their cause. You need a big over where they'll either have to look to take 30 or more, or need a couple of overs where they either take 20 plus. But whom do they target, and do they have the horses to be able to pull off such a feat? This one is hit well. This one will help the cause. Gone for a maximum, and a big strike by Gaurav Rana. Huge.
Brings up the 102 for the Maryland Mavericks. Second psychological milestone for them. 56 needed in around 15 balls. So, again, very unlikely, but we'll have to see what they can get with this.
And so, good swing by Gaurav Rana. Does he have 3 or 4 more of those in the hut? And we'll need a few more of those. 56 needed from 15 balls. One big over. If they can get a 36 run over, let's say, or a 30 run over, it could put them back in the hunt. But it would require everything to go well. And against this sort of a bowling unit, unlikely that they could take one of these bowlers apart to that degree. It's not impossible, but not likely. Let's see what else does Rana have. Swing and a miss this time, and so a good comeback delivery from Parbatani.
Very surprised, Carl. The man at number 11 who's going to come in next, Narendra Sharma, open proceedings against the Carolina Eagles. Didn't score much, but looking at his T20 statistics, he's got 8 overall 50s with a high score of 80 and a strike rate striking at 110. So surprised to see him at 11.
So maybe he's a Sunil Narayan type. Can come anywhere in the order. Can come at the top. Can hit them out the ground. And to your point, if he has that quality, how is he coming at 11? Hard to fathom. Nonetheless, the over comes to an end. 12 from it. 18 gone. 103 for 8.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So just 2 overs remain in the season for the Maryland Mavericks. And at least in the regular season for the Maryland Mavericks and the Pennsylvania Cavaliers as well for the regular season. And The ball now given back to Samaru. So he will come in here with the goal of perhaps dislodging one of these two batters or picking up these last 2 wickets to close out the formalities here at SUNY Purchase. The Maryland Mavericks posted, in fact, chasing 158 are 103 for 8, so they're 55 runs away with just 2 overs remain. And so 27.5 and over is the requirement. And this one is tugged into the onside by Gaurav Rana. They turn for one. They go for one. Turn for this. He turns for the second at the non-striker's end, but sent back by Shah, who was not interested. And so Shah now will strike. 104 on the board. 54 more are needed. Only 11 balls left. This one tugged behind square. Mohamed Asif holds up the hand to indicate that the ball is headed towards that backward square region. So the batters do scramble through for 2. And so 106 then the total. 106 for 8. 10 balls left in the innings. Swing and a miss. And Ketward Rule looks skyward as if to say, how did that not hit the stumps? As Vashil Shah head in the air, flailing away, trying to find the mid-wicket boundary.
Oh, that's gone up in the air, but that's gone nowhere other than the hands of Elas Sunny. So the 9th wicket falls, 1 to go now, and Samaru's picked up his 3rd.
And that was a good delivery. And Samaru has really bowled a good 3 here to a good 2.4 so far. A couple of balls remaining in the 3rd, and has already scalped 3. And so 1 wicket now remain for the Maryland Mavericks in their 2022 Phase 2 season. And the man who strides to the middle is Dharendra Sharma. And so he'll come here and recognizing that the Maryland Mavericks have lost 4 straight games on the trot, which explains their demise here, as they have fallen from being second in the table to now being the 5th team on the outside looking in. The Texas Cowboys celebrate Adil Naushawan and team who are in the ground to see this matchup. They now recognize that they'll likely play the Pennsylvania Cavaliers next week in one of the 2 semifinal games on championship weekend. And championship weekend will take place right here at SUNY Purchase. Here is Samaru. Starts with a good ball and defended up into the offside for no run. And so now the equation is impossible for the Maryland Mavericks. 52 to get from 7 balls. It's not possible as long as legal balls are bowled. This one hit in the air and the catch is taken. That's the end of the Mavericks, and the Pennsylvania Cavaliers are through to the championship weekend's play. They will be the top seed, and they will take on the Texas Cowboys, I believe, in a 1 versus 4 matchup. And so that will end it here. It's 106 all out, and so the Mavericks win by in fact, the Cavaliers win by 51 runs. So we'll take a pause here and return on the other side of the break for some player reactions, and then we'll gear you up for the final game of the regular season, when the New York Gothams will take on the Carolina Eagles.
between the Pennsylvania Cavaliers and the Maryland Mavericks. Cavaliers coming up on top, 6 wins out of 7 games, winning this one out of 51 runs and confirming their #1 spot in Phase 2 of this USPL. The man of the match for today's match, Mr. Varun Samaru, who scored 10 runs, took 4 wickets, and including a catch. Mr. Samaru, if I could have you alongside me, please. 4 wickets for you today, possibly your best bowling performance. What was on your mind when you were bowling?
The most important thing for me is just to try and keep down the runs. It don't matter about the wickets, I think that will come. But once the team benefit is the most important thing.
What was the captain telling you in terms of leadership? I know Stephen Cutwaru and Ryan Scott, 2 experienced campaigners. What were they telling you? Were they backing you? What was the conversation?
And I was now talking to the manager. I think one of the good things with playing with our team is the togetherness. Playing with a couple other teams, there isn't as much as togetherness as this team, and you play more comfortable. And again, with the captains backing you at any point in time, you feel comfortable coming and bowling.
Thank you so much, Varun. And to give his Man of the Match award is Mr. Danny Khan, head of Umpires Association for USA Cricket. So he will be giving the Man of the Match award to Mr. Varun Samaru. A very good performance by him with the bat and with the ball. So that's it for the first game here. Next matchup between the Carolina Eagles and the New York Gothams. Stay tuned for more cricket here at the SUNY Purchase Ground.